Okay, look, for the last time, I wanted you to get some filing cabinets, not bilingual cabinets. I don't even know how you managed to teach a cabinet to talk. Look, just go off, back over to the Staples, and grab me what I asked for, okay? Jesus Christ. Man, you can't get any good help around here anymore. Okay, well. Oh, well. Oh! Hi. Sorry. I was talking with somebody there. I apologize. I apologize dearly for that. Hi, how's it going? Is today good? You having a good day? Having a glorious day? Hopefully, I hope so. So, what's going on in the world of you guys? I know there's a whole bunch of just annoying things happening in my world, specifically internet related. So far we have had 0 dropped frames for this stream. I'm going to call that the exception, not the rule. So, yeah, I don't know. Ebbay says first. First! I don't talk about this, but whenever somebody comments something like that on my YouTube channels, I delete those comments immediately. Or like on my TikToks as well. If somebody comments first on my posts, I delete your comment. Just because, like, I don't play by that rule, man. Like, for God's sakes, yeah, like, oh, is that a status symbol? Ooh, I was the first buddy to be here. Yeah, okay. So what? It's not impressive. It's not cool. You were the first person to see an internet video. Oh my God! Call the National Guard. Oh my Guinness World Records. First person to watch a YouTube video. Whoa. First person to watch a TikTok. It's not like those things get just sent out to people automatically usually. Anyway, let me make a little adjustment of my mic audio just a little bit. There we go. So anyway, so yeah, been a bit of a headache. Not working out so far. Seems to be. Again, 0 dropped frames so far. We'll see whether or not that changes. I suspect it might. So here's the thing. I remember long ago, like some OGs to the YouTube would probably, actually, just like the BitB streams in general might remember this moment. But I think 3 or 4 years ago, we had a very similar situation happen where, for whatever reason, here, let me recenter myself real quick. What does it look like to reset position on this thing? Not good. Here, let me, am I a little bit, like, off on this axis, maybe? I think so. Hey. Maybe? Here, let me, turn it again real quick. I want to be looking directly into your soul. Anyway. Right, so, OGs might remember this, but 3 or 4 years ago, we had a very similar situation happen where, for some reason, we just had some really weird internet hiccups. And they were internet hiccups that were so goddamn annoying. Basically, like, for the most part, the internet was completely functional. No issues whatsoever. Like, you could download as fast as you wanted, you could stream video, you could, like, play online video games, all this kind of crazy stuff, all this cool stuff. But then, like, you know, for somebody who uses the internet more intensely than that, aka hi, you know, specifically somebody that uses the internet for large amounts of upload and like large amounts of consistent upload, I noticed that there was a really weird bug going on where the internet would just like cut out, or like the upstream would get really inconsistent, and it was weird. I think I have a picture of it on the desktop here, just so I can give you a little bit of a visual on what it is. Do I have like the good one? Do I have like the? Oh yeah, I do. I have the good visual here. I remember the internet decided, hey, I don't want you to play Pokemon Snap, right? Oh my God, I remember that. That's all I remember with Pokemon Snap is the internet issues. Fuck. Was it that long ago? God, it's been a long time. Here, let me go grab the picture here. There we go. That is a screenshot of my like task manager, and this gives a little bit of a visual of what I'm talking about here. So Yeah, what it's supposed to be is I'm supposed to be outputting about like 15 megabyte per second up, and you can see in that little circled area there that that's what it's supposed to be, you know, like sort of like up and down a little bit, like a little inconsistent there, but for the most part it's like smooth. However, then you get all these really weird peaks and valleys and moments when the internet just like cuts completely out. That is the visual of what is happening on the stream whenever like things get all pixely or whenever I cut out. This is what is going on essentially. And yeah, I cannot stream in this kind of situation. So, and for some reason, and I've noticed this, it seems to be happening on like Saturdays specifically. Like it seems like very specifically it is Saturdays. And I have a theory about this. My guess is that somewhere within the system of like my ISP, I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with me. 100%. Like at this point, they have replaced my modem and my router is fairly new and like, and I am wired to the freaking Ethernet. So I'm fairly certain that it's not me. Okay. Your net hates Saturdays. No, here's the theory that I have. I believe that something is going on either with a ground wire, like perhaps like there's a partial shear of a ground wire, or something has gone kind of iffy or kablooey when it comes to like a junction box. That's my guess. I'm guessing that like something is not consistent inside one of those boxes, and that is causing the weird iffiness happening with the internet. But the thing is, I don't think this actually shows up unless there's heavy traffic. So, the reason why we're having so many issues on Saturday specifically is because I think a lot of people are using the internet on Saturdays because it's the weekend. That's my guess. That's what I think is going on. You know, like the entire neighborhood is using up more internet on this day than any other day, and that's why we're seeing like the actual symptoms this day out of all days. I wondered whether or not moving over to weekdays for like a brief period of time might be able to fix it a little bit. Now, you'll know that we did some Splinter Cell streams not too long ago. We had a little bit of inconsistency. Like, we had some weird frame dropouts here and there on that stream, but it wasn't nearly as bad as Saturdays. So, I was considering that maybe I should swap over to the weekdays for like a brief period. But that'd be a little bit awkward for me. So, you know. You just got back from Comic-Con. Woo! Very fun. What'd you do? What did you manage to see? That sounds exciting. I have not been to a Comic-Con. In fact, I haven't really been to a convention in a really long time. Mostly because, like, COVID really scared me into not going out. But anyways, yeah, if you wanted a visual for what exactly is going on whenever we have those weird dropouts, this is a good visual interpretation. Pretty much. But anyway, yeah, when saw someone dressed, I doubt. I very much doubt. Pixar, it didn't happen. Why would anybody dress as me? Unless it was you. Unless you dress as me. And if that was the case, then technically, like, you didn't see somebody dress as me. You dressed it. Chihiro. I don't know what that is, actually. Here, let me get the net issues thing off the screen just so I can actually see you. Send a pic later. Okay. Well, very curious about that. And also, who? I'm assuming you're talking about your costume, Chihiro, there. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know, I don't know what to do about this, because, like, so here's the problem when it comes to this issue, and I seem to remember, oh, Spirited Away. Oh, is that what we were talking about, Spirited Away, earlier? Nice. Actually, I mean, you know, Ghibli anniversary and all that jazz, I think, was the other thing we were talking about. So, the issues when it comes to my ISP, or like the worst part about it is that this is a problem that we can't really diagnose unless they're like actively monitoring the network as the issues are happening. Because if they take their equipment out and if they start to investigate the issues after the fact, they just come back and tell me, "Oh no, it's just fine." I'm just like, That's the, and I think that's what ended up stretching it out to like a month's worth of time, was the fact that like I kept on calling them being like, "It's still happening. Things still going on. I've been doing this for like 3 freaking weeks. Like, for God's sake, somebody." And finally, I just got like somebody to give me their personal phone number. Just been like, "Okay, look, here's the number. When the issues start to crop up, I want you to give this number a call." And luckily, I happened to call them, and then like around like stream time, and I'm just like, "Yeah, it's happening." And then we just stayed on the line, and I told them when the issues started. And then they monitored the network from there. And finally, they believed me. They're just like, oh, yeah, that's very weird. Okay, we're gonna analyze this. Just like, sure, good, fine. So I'm imagining we're gonna have a very similar situation happen here. Like, I'm sure it's gonna take me about like 3 or 4 weeks of on and off calling back and forth between them, being like, "Hey, first issue, like, first solution didn't fix anything. Second solution didn't fix anything. The third solution didn't fix anything. Pretty sure it's you. Can you please send some trucks out to like inspect some lines or something? Fuck." Haku can control water and turn into a Japanese dragon. That's kind of cool. Wish I could turn into a Japanese dragon. Anyway. No, I think if I remember correctly, the issue that it turned out that the issue was that there was some construction going on in my area about like 3 years ago. That, yeah, like I said, they sheared a ground wire, and for the most part, it worked. Like, it totally and completely worked most of the time. But in combination with some weird like environmental issues, plus the traffic that was going through the line, made it so that there were these really weird cutouts of the upload specifically. So, and again, it took me basically being a very, very, very loud, like, squeaky wheel before they finally greased me. So, it took me a while, but I finally got through to them. I just wish it didn't take a month. But I do understand that they have other things that they need to work on. Like, I'm not going to fault them too hard about that. Like, I get it. I mean, on top of that, you can't just go out to every single person's house whenever they're just like, "My internet's not working properly, your lines are shit. Go replace them all." Yeah, sure, Grandpa. Yeah, sure. Wouldn't that be a fun day if they could do that? That'd be a very interesting world. So I know that there's a system in place. I have to wait for them to finally be like, "Okay, no, this is a legit problem. Let's go look." At least they figured out the issue. Oh, what's funny is that like after we had dealt with that for about a month, I finally talked with like one of their head technicians when they came out, and like basically this was them vindicating me and pretty much like revealing that I was right the whole time. Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but they basically looked at me as just like, "Okay, so yeah, it turns out that there was a shared ground wire, and that is the issue, and that is why you have been having the weird issues that you've been having." Fun fact. And to be fair, like the dude, once you finally talk to like a head technician or somebody that really knows what they're talking about, they are the sweetest people. Like, the absolute best friggin' people. Like, they really care about making sure that shit works. They were just like, I apologize for the whole mess that you had to deal with. I totally understand. It's frustrating. We're going to do everything we can to get things back up and running for you. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. So, again, it just requires you to actually get a hold of a technician. I'll say, like, I am very thankful that my ISP within my area is not, like, completely the devil. It's partially the devil, but it's not completely the devil. Anyway, I'm gonna go and jump into a Discord call, and we're gonna... Oh, boy. I'm incredibly nervous about that because, again, if we've had internet issues, I wonder what a, like, Discord call is gonna end up being like. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I have absolutely no idea. Well, we'll see what happens. There we go. I'm going to turn on streamer mode on the other computer. There we go. You versus Haku. Man, you know, whenever you say Haku, the first thing I think is Haku from Samurai Jack. And honestly, no, Haku from Samurai Jack would absolutely eliminate me. As for the other Haku, couldn't tell you. Not 100% on that one. Water, the elixir of life. Yay. Anyway. Oh, I should mention, before I forget, I've got a 3D print that is currently going on in the background behind me. And hopefully it doesn't mess up. But once that goes off, I am going to head behind me and, like, tend to it. So... yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. It doesn't appear it's failed yet. I don't know. I've been having some issues with this one. Though, I've been having a lot less issues since I moved over to the new plate. Dude, like, okay, so I'm sure that this plate will eventually wear out and I'm going to start having problems with it and get the exact same frustrations. But for the time being, I've got this new print plate. It's so good. It's so much better than the other one. Like, this one's actually flat and, like, you know, has more adhesion. Which is weird. Like, the other one that came stock with it was, like, weirdly powdery and bumpy, and I didn't like it. Is it the pizza? No, it's not. In fact, I kind of put the pizza on hold just because I really wanted to work on some other stuff for the time being. Mostly... I kind of want to see if I can get some filaments of the same colors as the pizza thing. That way, I don't have to do any painting. And it's all, like, thick plastic. Also, on top of that, oh my god, that pizza project was driving me to drink. It's like, oh, there are so many tiny little, like, microscopic little things that have to, like, land on the printer bed properly. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And it was driving me nuts. Though, now that I have this new print plate, maybe it'll be a little bit easier. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Currently, my focus is not on that at the moment. In fact, I got a different thing that I'm focusing on. Since you guys are on the live stream, I might as well go ahead and give you a little bit of a preview of that. Why the heck not? Here. I'm going to send some pictures out to some people. Let me see if I can go find it. Found it. Now I just have to pull it up in browser and, like, you drag and drop the thingy. Actually, yeah, there are probably a few people that don't keep up with my social media and aren't in the Discord that probably, like, you know, they're not getting a whole bunch of the info on some of the stuff that I'm doing, like 3D printer wise. By the way, I'm sending a bunch of my 3D printer, you know, updates and things like that over to my the Blue Sky. There it is. Now, I don't want to shove another social media down your throat, but I like me some Blue Sky. It's basically Twitter, except without Elon Musk. And you know what? I'll take it. So, if you are interested, and if you wanted to try and help, like, you know, boost up a potential new replacement that might be very, very nice in the future, go for it. I'm always an advocate of, like, when there's a new platform that seems to be run by some, like, decent people with some decent brains, I do like to support those a little bit. One more week until my school's over, and I'm Literally trying to keep my sanity since the environment is awful. Aw. I'm really sorry to hear that. Okay. I don't know if I've posted this on any of my socials yet. So, this is going to be a preview for you guys. Big! Again, this is just a little old hobbyist thing that I'm doing. Something to kind of occupy my brain. Boy. And also... there it be. Who knows what it is? Seriously, what do you guys know what it is? Because I sure don't. Is it edible? Do not eat the PLA plastic. Don't do it. Not edible. It's fairly non-toxic, but no, do not eat. Arf. This has been something that I've been working on a little bit. Snab. That's kind of like in a maybe thing. It's one of those like I'm still sort of working on the ideas behind that one. Every 3D print you make, I want to nom it. No clue what that... Really? You guys don't know what that is? Am I too old? Either that or you're joking with me. Are you... FB might be fucking with me. I don't know. Banjo-Kazooie! Close enough. Here, let me go grab another picture real quick. Just so you have something to look at. I'm kidding. Yeah, I figured that it's like, no, wait, it doesn't make any sense that you wouldn't know. Nintendo 64! Bingo! Yay. Exactly, it's the N64 logo. Yeah, I'm printing me one of those. This is actually, like, ever since I saw a whole bunch of people making Etsy projects of the N64 logo, it has been my dream to have my own, like physical version of the N64 logo in my homestead, something or other. And yeah, I'm doing the thing. Damn, this is nice. So, I've been doing some interesting research on this to try and figure out, you know, what am I going to do about this and how am I going to go about doing it. And I found out some interesting little facts. Now, first of all, I have learned that sanding a 3D printed object, depending on how complex it is annoying. Because you'll actually notice if you look closely at the one on the other end. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. If you look real close at it, you can actually see that I've sanded this one down. It's like the edges are a heck of a lot more smooth on it. Whereas if you look at the other one, you can probably tell that, like, you can actually see the printing lines, like the lines trailing all the way up it, where like all of the filament was laid down. You can see it on here, but like it's actually sanded down. So if you covered this with like a primer paint, you wouldn't even be able to see any of the lines. So I always just associate it with the Banjo-Kazooie intro. I now have the weird squeaking sound it makes stuck in my head. Oh yeah. I know, right? Here's another fun fact. So, I found out about this through like some research that I did on the N64 logo, because I wanted to find a good 3D model for it, and I found out something unfortunate. And that is the N64 like 3D logo, it didn't have like a synchronized 3D logo, or like it didn't have a 3D model that was synchronized. Nintendo did not like distribute a 3D model and tell developers to use it. They basically said, yeah, just go ahead and make a 3D logo based on the official render of the 2D one that we've got, and you're golden. Yeah, just do that. And like, so that, yeah, that means that every single person that made a 3D Nintendo 64 logo, essentially had to just like make it from scratch. And so, but that means that there are a ton of random different N64 logos strewn throughout the N64 library. And it's just a matter of like, which one do you want to pick? You know? So, fun fact, the thing that FB just said, the whole like, I associate it with the Banjo-Kazooie intro. Funny you mentioned that, because the one on the end here, this guy, it is literally the exact same model from Banjo-Kazooie. Same one. Like, you know, it's I know what's interesting about it is that it's a little bit skinnier than the official ones. Like, just a little bit. Not a ton, but just enough that you can kind of tell. It's just like, oh, weird. Meanwhile, the one on the right, that one right there, that is based off of the model from the Nintendo 64 disc system that was exclusively released in Japan. But, you know, that's more of an official logo that you could possibly find. Like, yeah, if it came directly from Nintendo, you'd like to think that it would be a little bit more accurate to the N64 logo. And so, yeah, that one comes from the N64 DD. So it's hard to tell, especially from this angle. But let's get them side by side real quick. If you look at them close enough, you can see differences. Like, you can see that the ends are a little bit thicker. Like, the font is a little bit thicker. The squares on top are definitely larger. And there's a lot less, like, empty space on the inside of the N64 logo. I would say that, like, the one that was on the N64 DD, I think that's a little bit more accurate, in my opinion. And I love the Banjo-Kazooie one, but I don't know. I love it from a nostalgia sake and from remembering the fact that it walked along the screen. You know? Mafia Town! Yeah, exactly. And then you got some weirdos. Let me... Here, do I have access to my Blue Sky account? Here. Well, actually, let me look it up. Am I allowed to look up... Oh, for God's sake. I'm looking forward to when Blue Sky becomes a little bit more, like, ubiquitous. And, like, you know, it's easier to get to. Where's... here, let me go to... I'm on the stream PC, so I'm logged out of more things. Here, let's just go over to my Linktree, because that's going to have a link to my Blue Sky. There we go. Okay, I'm pulling up some pictures of some N64 logos. Dude, there are some weird-ass N64 logos. You know what? Screw it. Let's just go ahead and... I'm going to go and grab a whole bunch of the examples that I had. You can tell that I love to talk about this. Because it's just so fascinating. It's so weird. Like, Nintendo, why... you'd think of all the companies that would be so legit... Like, you know, you would think Nintendo, of all people, would be extremely litigious and, like, make sure that you only used one specific type of logo to represent their brand. Nope. No, they did not, in fact. It's very strange. Okay, there we go. Let me pull up OBS again. I feel like I should be scared of the logo if it's weird. I just finished my job in Lion King and I accidentally dropped a kid. Oh no! Oh shoot! Yep, they're okay. Okay, so for comparison, let's go ahead and pull up the N64 logo again. See, there it is. That's the N64 logo. Like, I think that's the official one. The one that, like, you know, everybody is going to be basing off of. So first of all, there is the Banjo-Kazooie one, which, again, is kind of similar. However, again, the font is just a little bit, like, it's thinner than the actual end logo. Also, like, it's at a slightly different angle, obviously, because it's, like, walking across the screen. It's very strange. I would say that, like, that's a pretty accurate one, though. You know, like, it's not one that makes you go, oh, that's weird. You're in Kanto as Bruno. Well, then I better not talk about you. I want to shut up. Okay, next up, I'm trying to remember where this one was located. Here we go. What game was this from? I think it might have been from, like, the Tom and Jerry game or something. I don't remember. But this one's very similar. But I do think it's a little taller, which is interesting. Like, I think if you look at it a little bit side by side, you can tell that it might be a little bit skinnier, just a tiny bit. Also, for some reason, like, there were some video games on the N64 that were terrified of the idea of having saturated colors. And for some reason, they just didn't want to do saturated color on this one. We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. Here's a funny one. Diddy Kong Racing. You're going to see it. Immediately, you're going to see the difference. Wah. Wah, 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 wah. It's like, he's so freaking chunk. Here, can I, hold on a sec, let me, can I, like, change the shape a little bit? Here, give me a second. Control, oh, wait, Alt, Control, no, Shift. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can, like, no, even if I stretch it out, okay, if I stretch it out to its exact size, it's still really thick. Big old Nintendo thick N. Like, what the frig? I think that's the, that's what it actually looks like in-game when it's rendered. Dwarf N. Ah, yeah, right. Honestly, like, this Nintendo 64 logo might be kind of fun to print at some point. And then we have the crown jewel. The one that's, like, I definitely say this one, this commits, like, a sin. You ready for this? This is from the game Tetrasphere, which I actually own, by the way. All right. Who's going to call it out first? What is wrong with this picture? Skinny ain't exactly the word. I want to see if anybody can get it, like, the best description possible of this. It drives me nuts. Good evening, says the, that one guy. Hi, how you doing? We're looking at N64 logos. Different angle? I mean, technically it's a different angle, but we can let that slide. Ebbe says too long. That's a pretty good description of it. Hey, Silver is here as well. Hi, how you guys doing? Again, looking at N64 logos and laughing at them. So I think too long might be the best description of this. We need to see it from just the top. Oh, yeah. I have not gotten any renders of, like, the N64 logo from the top. It is kind of neat though. So the problem with this one, it's completely, it is off model as hell. They fucked up, and they. What's a good way to put? So basically, you see the tops that have, like, yellow in it. Those are supposed to be square. They are not square. Those are rectangles. And then, like, it continues to be a rectangular N. It's so close. It looks close. It looks similar, but, like, not quite. Like, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's my issue. And what's funny is that when I was younger, when I was a kid, I didn't really pay that much attention to it. Like, obviously, as a kid, you're a little bit less picky when it comes to these kinds of things. But nowadays, I look back at this and I'm just like, how the hell did I not notice? That is so weird, Nintendo 64. So the only rules that they had was that, you know, we're not going to send out a 3D model for all you guys to use. Instead, we're just going to tell you to make it look as close to the 2D N64 render that we have here. Just make it look as close as that. Aside from that, you 3D model it yourself. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, it couldn't have been that big of a file. You could have packed in that with, like, the dev kits or something. Why didn't you do that? That seems like a bad idea. And also, Pierce is here. Hello, how's it going? There's probably a specific reason as to why they didn't do that. I don't know, maybe creative freedom. Who knows? Oh, you know what's funny? Even, I was looking at, it has 64 vertices. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's a neat little fun fact. So, I was looking into N64 logos, and I thought to myself, okay, I mean, all right, so clearly I need to get an N64 logo that would be Nintendo approved, right? So, obviously, I'm going to go look for, like, a Nintendo game that has a 3D Nintendo 64 logo in it, and I'm going to rip it out of that game. Sounds good. And I looked up, I think Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time actually has an N64 logo that's 3D. So I went and I grabbed that one, and I inspected it, and it looks good, don't get me wrong. But I noticed something. Hat Kid and Billy, I like bread. I think everybody does. Bread and honey. Carbs. Anyway, so I got the Ocarina of Time Nintendo 64 logo. I don't have an example for it on the screen, but I found out that the N64 logo in Ocarina of Time is perfectly square, like, throughout it. And that's not right. Because, like, actually, if you look at it close enough, or if you look at this close enough, you can actually see that, like, it's not perfectly square. Look at like the green N. Now imagine if you're looking at that head on. That's not an exact square. That's actually, like, slightly flattened at the top. You know, like, the vertical is not the same width as the sides, essentially. So I would say that, like, the N64 logo is probably a little bit slightly squish than, like, a perfect square. But it's a perfect square in Ocarina of Time. So I'm just like, who's right? If Nintendo can't get it right, then who's right? What do I do? Eventually, again, I just decided to go with the logo that is in the N64 DD. Because you know what? If there are any official N64 3D renders that exist out there, I would like to think it would be on the BIOS or, like, you know, the startup screen for their freaking console. So I'm going with that. Just to, like, keep my sanity alive. Anyway, Pierce says best N64 screen. Oh yeah, Conker's, where he, like, absolutely murders the N64 logo. Oh, you know, that reminds me. Another fun little quirk about the N64 logo. Now I'm going to repeat. The only rules that they really gave was, you know, we're not going to send out, like, we're not going to send out a specific brand assets information thing. We're not going to give you the 3D logo. We're just going to tell you, make your 3D logo look like the 2D render of the 3D logo that we have for the Nintendo 64 brand. And that's it. So that meant a couple things. Again, no 3D logo, so you had to make it yourself. But the other thing is that they didn't talk about any of the colors on the other sides of this N. Like, they didn't tell anybody what the colors were. So, for a lot of developers, they just kind of winged it and just tried to figure out what colors are appropriate for each side. And you would think that that would be easy. You would think this, like, oh, okay, well, you know, the blue side, obviously the opposite side on the other side of the N64 logo, that would be blue. And then the green one, now obviously on the other side of the N64 logo would be, like, green as well. So, like, you know, That makes sense. That's fine. And also, yellow on top. Let's just go ahead and put yellow on the bottom. All right. Got it. But then what do you do with the color on, like, you know, the underside of the M? Or, like, some of, like, the, you know, like, there's that one corner, like, all the way in the back on top. You know, that little slope over there that you really can't see because it's, like, it's blocked based on, like, how you're looking at it in the render. What color do you make that? What? And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo didn't think about this. Nowadays, they don't really have 3D logos all that much. They have the GameCube logo, but I don't remember a single developer attempting to try and make a 3D GameCube logo. So, you know, thank God for that. But, you know, this was the N64. This is around the era where they were desperately trying to push 3D technology. And yeah, there were a lot of people that were attempting to, you know, show off. A lot of devs that were just like, look at the 3D graphics we have. We're so proud to be on the N64. This is the era when Sega died. And are we better off? I don't know. Probably not. You ever think that Sega's gonna, like, come back into the console wars? Probably not. I think it'd be foolish if they tried. But I think it'd be kind of interesting. As a one-off. Not ever? Yeah. Probably. Yeah. It'd be weird if they got into hardware. Let's be real. Like, maybe they can make special controllers that connect to different consoles. Like a Dreamcast controller, except for, like, an Xbox. Xbox is the spiritual successor to the Dreamcast. Yeah. With what, the Sega Mars or something? I don't know. Let's see. So they have the Sega Genesis, they have the Sega Dreamcast, they have the... The Mars was the 32X that came out. Man, like the 32X. Actually, the Sega 32X and Sega CD, looking back on it, it just seems like a mess. Like, it's a mess that worked out, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like it's a complete mess being like, here's a peripheral for a peripheral, peripheral for a peripheral. It's like, what the... It absolutely was a mess. Like, dude, just release it. And also on top of that, they just kept on releasing more consoles. They're just like, stick to a generation. Jesus. Look, you don't have to upgrade every single time there's a new piece of technology that exists. Lord. Wait, like, you know, hold off on a generation before you move into a CD system, and then make that CD system its own individual thing. Dude, relax. You'll be fine. You don't got to push that to the, you know, to the market. 32X was designed by Sega of America, while the Saturn was designed by Sega Japan. It was two teams internally competing with each other. Yeah, that always works out. That seems like a bad idea. I mean, sometimes having some competition inside the company is a good thing, but, like, I feel like not when you're working with, you know, what your brand identity is, and also working on, like, two very intensive pieces of technology. You know, that it just seems like you should probably, like, keep that focused. Maybe, like, you know, battle amongst yourselves to try and come up with what the next good technology is going to be, and then before you release it, make a decision on which one is actually good. I don't know. Now all we get is Sonic and Monkey Ball, but aren't we actually getting new entries in the other series now? I just want a new Knights game. I mean, you know, there's Yakuza. And that's huge nowadays. Meanwhile, Sony was also trying to work with Sega to make the Saturn, but Sega eventually dropped them after they decided that Sony can never succeed making hardware. Why the fuck? There are so many companies that were just like, no, Sega sucks. Sega will never be able to do any... Actually, no, not Sega. No, it's like, Sony sucks. Sony will never be able to make anything good. That they don't understand technology. It's not like Sony's been making technology for, oh gosh, how many years? What the fuck? What did Sony do? Were they just way too competitive? Like, were they really abrasive with companies or something? Were they just like, no, we want to do it our way. Stop it. We're doing it our way, gosh darn it. And then, you know, then all the companies that were trying to work with them were just like, well, fine, go make your own with blackjack and hookers. And then they went, yeah. That's what I feel like. Problem was, Sony had already been working with Sega, so they knew all their plans for the Saturn and how to beat it. There we go. It also helps that, like, now I remember that, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, how Sony had their own fun little formats and things for, like, CDs and DVDs and things, and they packed those into their consoles and basically guaranteed that they would work. You know, that they would be a huge success. Doesn't Yakuza go under the Atlas company? No. Yakuza's RGG Studio, the team behind Monkey Ball and Jet Set Radio. So there you go. Yeah, how's that 3D print going? Oh, 3D print is done. Okay, well, I am going to go and baby that, and that might take me a little bit of time. So I will be right back, and I will show off, or I guess try and show off the thing that I 3D printed. So I will be right back. Hang tight here. Where's the BRB screen? Also, I'm going to temporarily leave the call just because, yeah, I don't need to be in there right now. not while I'm away. Okay, all right, BRB. All right, I'm back, and we did not have any weird frame droppage. Sweet. Hello. Also, I have the thing in front of me that was just printed. There, let me pick it up. Can you hear this? Oh. Probably, this is like playing havoc on my my hands. Hold on. Lower that down a little bit. Yeah. I got it. Here. Let me pull up a picture of what this is. This is a picture of an earlier print that I did of this. There we go. Ah, too big. There we go. I printed a bunch of 3D printable chainmail. And it's freaking cool. It is so neat. So yeah, you print it, like you can put it down and you print about like 200 at once, plus 5 defense. Yeah, right. Not quite. It's plastic. I don't think so. My phone died, so I couldn't chat for a bit. What did I miss? It's good. I did a BRB. Now again, I got a bunch of like this 3D printable chainmail. And it's super neat because like you print it in place and then you pull it off of the 3D printer in sheets. And it's so freaking fun. Like this is like it is definitely a sensory oddity because it's just like, oh, it's plastic, but it works like a sheet. And it's weird. I like it. I like it a lot. But I printed one not too long ago. And then I had somebody challenged me to like, because these are open looped and you can make a whole bunch and then you can put them together in sequence. Somebody recommended that I make 3 more and then make a gigantic sheet. Can I noms? You can't eat chainmail. For God's sakes, getting all medieval up in here. All right. Also, I went and grabbed myself some Cheetos, which is the gamer's nightmare. Anyway, so that is currently what I'm doing. I'm currently printing another 3, and then I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to have a Mondo sheet. So yeah, that should be fun. I don't know where the heck I'm going to put it. Huh. Sharing is caring. I can't... All right, I'm going to try and share a Cheeto through the screen. Here you go. Here you go. Let me just, like, I don't know, throw it through the internet. It didn't work. Also, the Cheeto landed on my, you know... Ow! No! My glorious chainmail! No! Don't fall off the desk! There you go. You're fine. You're fine, baby. You'll be good. Anyway. So, yes, I printed this. In retrospect, I really wish I had a good, like, silvery, sort of filament so that I could have printed this in silver instead. But, so, it's basically just a gigantic red blanket. Chaos over snacks. All right. So, yeah. I have gotten 3 out of the 4 finish. I currently have number 4 printing in the background right now as we speak. So when I wake up tomorrow, it should be completely done. If it doesn't, fuck up. Oh, hey, I should show you a picture of this thing, not on the printer bed. Hold on a second. There we go. A little bit of the bit hand here. Scrolly. There we go. Yeah, it's basically like a cloth, except it's plastic. Hard plastic in that. No, the dude that designed this, like, God, he's a genius. This is such a creative idea. I'm gonna actually get a snack since I didn't actually nom on anything yet. Go for it. Grab the snackies. There we go. Yeah, this is neat stuff. Oh yeah, the tracking does not know what to do with this. My hand is being very obscured by the sheet. Here, let me try and pull it off now. Ha! Yep. Yeah, here's me holding the thing in front of my in front of my tracker. I'm so easily amused. All right. It should be interesting to have, like, the full sheet of this. Like I said, where the heck am I supposed to put this? Once I finish up with that, I really didn't think ahead with this. All I thought was, ooh, 3D printed chainmail, neat. And then my brain shut off. So, yeah, I don't know what the plan is for that one. If any of you have any ideas that are practical, I'm all ears, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to fashion this in any way that I can actually take it into battle. I mean, it's a good sort of fidget toy. Like, definitely. It's got good hand feel. You know? Like, you can move it in, out, in, out. You can sort of, like, swirl it around on a desk. It's fun. I would want anybody that I know to have this. I would like to hand a little bit out to everybody. At one point, I did think about maybe printing a little bit more, except in a different filament color, and then using it as the border around this thing. So I basically more or less have a gigantic, like, chainmail sheet that it's kind of like a gigantic chainmail washcloth that can do absolutely no washing whatsoever. So I don't know. Back with the snack. What is the snack? I wish to know. I told you mine. It is Cheetos. What is yours? Oh, Hershey's Kisses. Nice. Didn't have anything else. Hey, that's good enough. It's tasty. It's chocolate. Though, I don't know what it is about Hershey's chocolate specifically. It might just because I'm getting older and my, my systems inside my stomach are not like what they used to be. Or maybe they changed the recipe. I don't know. But I just seem to remember that Hershey's chocolate used to sit a lot better in my stomach a long time ago. Nowadays, it just doesn't. Like, if I have even, like, a little bit of Hershey's chocolate, I end up getting, like, indigestion, something fierce. And I mean, like, I don't mean, like, lower intestine type of thing. I mean, like, weird acid reflux stuff. Where I'm just like, ew, why? What? This is, ew. Maybe you are lactose. I drink milk. I enjoy milk. Milk is good. Milk is tasty. I've had plenty of milk and cheese. I'm good with that. I would be very no, never mind. I swear it's something to do with the chocolate. Like something they do with the recipe. Or again, it could just be me. Something about the way that they make it. Like Younger Bit probably could have like stomached through anything. Like Younger Bit was a dumpster. He could eat through like anything. Large portions, small portions, whatever the heck. And nowadays, like Older Bit is just like, ew, no. You need to have a moderate sized hamburger and like a reasonable amount of cheese. Kind of reminds me. I just recently went to a restaurant not too long ago. A nice diner. It was a good spot. Hold on a second. I may have to go back there and check that 3D print. Because like right now, it's currently printing the first layer. Which, by the way, there's a little bit of a rule when it comes to 3D printing. And that is, your 3D print is only going to be as good as your first layer. Because if your first layer turns out to be shoddy, like if it turns out that like it doesn't adhere properly to the bed, and if like, I mean, if that's the case, then all the rest of the layers are going to be wonky. So it is very important to make sure that the first layer is a good one. And there are only 20 layers in total when it comes to this chainmail. However, because it is such like a wide area, and because the printer head has to do so much like moving around, like a lot of travel, it takes, this thing right here takes 7 hours to complete. 7. And that's terrifying. I limit myself if I have too much sugar for a week, so I kind of moderate myself. No, that's good. I mean, like, when I was younger, I didn't really do that much at all. Basically, I was just like, oh, sweet, yeah. Oh, can I have another dinner roll? Yay! If you're allowing, sweet. But nowadays, it's just like, oh, no. Nope. If I have too many dinner rolls, then it's just going to be a carb coma later. Don't do it. No. My body doesn't, like, eat that way anymore. I ain't a growing boy. I am about the size that I'm supposed to be. He says as he's snacking. No, I just recently went out to a diner, and it was a really nice diner. Now, I don't know this for certain, but it was this really nice sort of like smaller dive thing. Not like, not ridiculously small, but it is actually really well known within my community, and it is really nice. It is a really good spot. It's got that vibe of, like, an old man and an old woman are in their retirement ages, and they said to each other, hey, what's one thing that we've always wanted to do? And then they looked at each other just like, we've always wanted to open up that restaurant. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Like, we always wanted to have a diner. And so then they went and they opened up a restaurant. That's kind of the vibe of it. And the place was super homey. It was super nice. Like, it was like it was basically, it was a diner sort of a setting, but you also were kind of expected to tend to yourself a little bit. Like, okay, you got your food. Like, you went up to the front, you ordered your food, the cooks made it in the back, they bring it up. Kind of like, it's almost a combination between like fast food and a regular diner, where like, you order the thing, you go and sit down at your table, and then the chef goes like, order up! And then you go up front, you grab your stuff, and then you head over to a booth or something. Like, very classic, like old American style restaurant or diner. It's not like a sit-down restaurant where you sit down and you have a waiter come up and just be like, would you like to know about the soup of the day? No, it's almost like that, but they don't have, the difference is that they don't have that guy. That's it. But yeah, then you get your stuff, and like, it's pretty like homely types of food that you expect to have at a diner, and they cook it pretty freaking well. I'm not going to say it's great, but it was pretty good. And in general, just like the vibes there were really nice. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the vibe of like, man, you know, we don't really need to be making any money. So, well, let's just go ahead. And oh, on top of that, the place is not open all the time, which is a shame because it's like, it's a really nice place. Like, it's a really cool place that you would love to be able to just go to whenever it was like, you know, lunch rush or whatever the heck, or, you know, go out there for a nice dinner or something. No, these guys are open for, I think, maybe 5 hours out of the day, and then that's it, they're done. They're just like, nope, no, we don't have a breakfast menu, we don't have a dinner menu, you're out here for lunch, and then you're gone. Get out. And they weren't even open, like, every single day of the week. They had, like, 4 days out of the entire week that they are open and available for, like, 5 hours. Sounds cozy, though. It was! It was super nice. And also, they got, like, really good ratings on like, I think Google reviews or, like, in general, it just seems like, yeah, they got good reviews. They do good stuff. It's not, like, amazing stuff, but they offer a really, really nice atmosphere and a really nice place to sit down and enjoy yourself. It's nice and clean. They seem like they care. And I like it. It's been a long time since I've seen something like that. They played Night's music at the Sonic Symphony. It was part of the Saturn medley. Oh, interesting. I'm definitely not drawing you versus Haku. Do it. Do it. Draw. Also, I still have the picture of the thing up here. Hold on. I forgot. Let's get rid of that. But anyway. Yeah, I like me a good, like, you know, home-style diner thing. The only problem is, there is one thing that does kind of bother me about a lot of the restaurants and the food places in this area, and that is all of them get their food from basically the same distributor. Now, like, you know, if you go to somewhere like McDonald's or Wendy's or one of, like, the big restaurants like Applebee's or whatever the heck, what chaos did I miss? We're mostly talking about restaurants right now. Or at least I am. Anyway, now if you go to like a major chain, you know that they're sourcing their food from some big distribution factory somewhere, you know. Yeah, if you like McDonald's or something like that, they're probably getting their stuff from may not be able to attend streams next week on Saturday or Sunday since I might go to Japan. Neat, which means 10 days away from home. That is impressive, and I hope you have a very lovely time in Japan. I'm curious, what are you thinking about doing while you're out in Japan? Because there are so many things you could potentially do. You know, like, there's Akihabara, but, like, that is an entire, like, that is a massive amount of things to do. But then on top of that, you can go and visit, like, I'm trying to think of some other places. Oh, shoot. There was one time where I was doing some research on going to Japan, and I've completely forgotten it. Universal Studios! Oh! Have a good time. Also, that's where Nintendo World is. Holy shit! Traditional areas. Soak that in. Enjoy it while you're there, because I'm sure it's going to, like, it's going to be satisfying, I'm sure. I'd love to take a trip there. Shoot. I want to go to Nintendo World. I want to go to Tandy. Tenders! Also, the Donkey Kong experience, I don't think that's open yet, is it? Or it might be in Japan. Unsure. I know they were talking about it. I know they were discussing, like, apparently there's going to be a sequence of the ride that feels like it's like the cart is in air or like airborne, but it's just like it's clever mechanics to make it look that way. I think like Pierce talked about that at one point, right? Also, Brio is here. Hello. Snap versus Snatcher. I'm gonna assume Snap, because Snap is going to, like, I think we already talked about this before, and, like, pretty sure Snap would just, like, you know, claw his face off. I get funny enough. Snatcher Plays 5, which the VOD is not available anywhere, unfortunately. I'm very sorry about that. There is a sequence where Snab and Snatcher fight. It's off screen, but they do. And it's hinted that Snab won. Oh, hello. There's a Kyle here.
Hello.
How you doing?
Been a while.
Hi. Good to see you. What are you up to?
I've been completely absorbed by V Rising.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that you guys were playing that. What is that?
It's vampire crafting survival.
Sounds neat.
Isometric, kind of like Diablo, except with survival crafting elements.
Sweet. I think I saw you guys were playing it, and I did look up the game, and because I'm like, maybe I'd want to play it. Then I saw it, and I'm like, I'll pass. It's not like massively my thing, but I don't hate it. Should I get some picks for the Discord GC? What is a GC? Help me. What?
Global chat.
Global chat. Oh.
Unless that's not it.
I have no idea. You'll have to refresh me on that one.
Or general
Got interested
chat.
again in making 3D animations, says Brio. Heck yeah, man. Picks for the Discord group chat. Group chat? Are you talking like the one that he's in? Because like this chat here is not available to anybody but the mainstream stuff. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, we're in stream chat.
Brio, like Brio?
No. I certainly hope not. I don't know. Brio, if you are an embryo, say I.
No, not an embryo. N-brio.
Oh, N
Like
Brio.
N-cortex or N-gin.
Oh, right. Shoot. Yeah, can you tell that I wasn't a PlayStation kid? And also, Snarls is here as well. Good to see you. The BitB server. I mean, go for it. As long as it's within the rules, go for it. We have many different channels available to you, including the image chat. If it's a meme, there's the meme chat thing. There's also like the mains, general chat as well. Hi, is your computer good now? Who knows? This is kind of one of those I just have to wait and see kind of things.
What happened? Did I miss something over the past? How long has it been? Months?
So for the past like 3 weeks, or for about a month, there's been some weird issues happening with my internet. Kind of all started when I noticed that there was some weird, like, the internet would just hang for like a second and then pop back in and then hang again, and it would do that randomly. Hey, Snarls is over in the other chat. Ah! Anyway, it would just do that, and then there were some technicians that came out to help him fix that, and there were like 2 or 3 trucks that were out there doing work. And ever since that happened, I've been having these weird problems with my stream, where now the internet, for the most part, seems just fine. Like, downloads seem perfectly reasonable. I think video calls are okay, but like at complete random, while I've been doing my live streams, especially on Saturdays specifically. Here, I'm gonna put something up on the screen. I don't know if you have my stream up, but this has been happening. There we go. That's my task manager. That's a good description of what it is. I took this picture around the time when it was happening a couple weeks ago.
Dunkin' Donuts! Nice choice.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, no, wait, that's an ad.
You got a Dunkin' Donuts? Sweet! It should be very apparent once you see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So it's like, that's supposed to be consistent, a consistent squiggly line. And it's not. Though, stream today has actually been completely consistent, and we have had 0 drop frames according to my output. So, that's the bad thing about this. It happens at complete random, and I don't have a grasp on it. The best I can guess is I think it happens more around, like, busy days or, like, you know, busy moments. So, on Saturday, it seems to happen more. My assumption, my guess, is that either a ground wire has been fucked, but it's only fucked enough that, like, it's causing inconvenience and not full-blown problems. Or there's a junction box somewhere that one of the technicians that came out to fix fucked up further. Or, like, fucked up in a way that they didn't notice. And now it's just a case of me playing phone tag with my internet provider and desperately trying to get them to come out and inspect things. So they've already come out once and replaced, like, all the equipment out here. So I have a new modem. I have a new set of, like, you know, router. Well, not router, but, like, a bunch of boxes for, like, TV and stuff around here. Basically, they gutted all type of cable out of cable, and it's all internet. Nothing should be interfering with it.
And yet, here we are.
And yet, here I am. Same issue, different day. Even on Wednesday, I noticed that there was some weird drop frames that didn't make any sense. So, yeah. So that's happening. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much. Saturday seems okay. I popped over here to see if it's more stable on YouTube. It should be stable everywhere in theory.
That's
Possibly.
not theory.
Mm-hmm. Wonder why they keep messing up. Look, you know what? I was complaining about this not too long ago with my folks. And my mom was just... She is definitely one of those people that's just like, oh, well... You're paying good money for that service, and it should just be working. And I'm just like, look, it's like, you can't expect that something is going to be working 100% all the time. Like, outages happen, you know? Like, and I totally understand that. It's just a matter of how prompt are they to respond. You know what I mean? Strawberry Crepe Blast. Okay, you changed your name since the last time you were here. Who are you? What the fuck? Who is this?
Answer me!
Give me a second. It is Amp. Oh, hello. Hello. How you doing? Tech never works perfectly all the time. Yep. And, like, I know about that. I know tech doesn't work all the time. And I am perfectly fine with this. Like, why? Sounds. Why?
But if it consistently fails or intermittently fails, there's an issue.
Speaking of issues, all I did was I tried to move one window. What the fuck, OBS?
What did you do?
I don't know, but it's like, it's froze. It's confused. What? I'm assuming there's probably like a dialogue up that I can't see. Yeah, the dialogue is hidden. Oh, fuck off. I can't hit the X button. The X button is being covered up. Are you kidding me?
Hold Alt F4. Alt F4!
I can't! I can't do that! Ah!
Panic! Panic!
Panic! Are you kidding? Seriously! I see the window they want me to click on, but it's covered up by, like, a preview. I moved my windowed projector scene, which I told to be always on top of all their windows, and I moved that on top of the little dialogue box, and I can't see the little dialogue box, so I can't click on X and get rid of it. What the fuck, OBS?
Experiencing technical issues, please stand by.
I mean, it still works. It's just jank as all fuck.
No, I need
okay.
more iron.
What do I do about this?
Always need more iron.
I can't move the damn window. And I can't click on any controls on OBS to make it stop. Well, I guess that means I'm just never stopping streaming. Hi!
Hey!
Hooray!
BitB forever!
I'm not stuck here with you, you're stuck here with me! Restart computer. Technically it will work, but I'll break everything else in the process. Task Manager doesn't help, because it's just giving me, like... Here. I mean, all of my issues are lumped underneath OBS specifically. And so I have to somehow guess which one of these OBS windows is the right one that I'm supposed to click on. And, like, end the process of. But, and if I end any of the wrong ones, say goodbye to the stream. Alright. I'm gonna try and click end task on one of these things just to see what happens. So if the stream just dies on me, that's why.
Noted.
Click! Okay, well now Task Manager is frozen. What the fuck?! Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Oh god. Is
What
Twitch
happened?
still running?
Probably?
Yeah, Twitch is still running. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. It's all broken. Everything is hanging. You are the chosen one. You said that you were going to stop the processes, not join them. The only option might be to end the stream by restarting the computer. I know! I know that that's the only way. But like, oh, if you don't know how frustrating this is, the way that I have it set up to do streams on YouTube is each YouTube stream is its own URL. So if I end the stream, it means that I'm gonna have to completely change the URL of the YouTube stream, and so you guys are gonna have to jump on over to that one instead, which is really stupid. I have no idea if there's a way that I can do that differently on YouTube. There used to be a way, but I have no freaking idea. I can't believe this. Like, this wouldn't be an issue if, like, if the computer just decided, what the fuck? YouTube stream setup is annoying. Yeah, right? Okay. Well, first of all, I am going to leave the Discord call. So, see you later, Kyle.
All right, I'll be here.
Yeah. And I guess, yeah, looks like we're... Fucking Christ, man. Why must this happen as soon as I mention tech being funky? Because tech is funky. All right. If I restart the computer, I have to restart all the other processes I have set up here. Christ. Well, I can at least attempt to try and, like, maybe I can, like, restart OBS only. That would, like, really help. No. Okay. That doesn't help. I'm just going to close out, like, each program one by one by one. And we'll figure out which one eventually turns out to be the one that's, like... I mean, I know which one's probably hanging the computer. But it's OBS, obviously. But and what's stupid... What's hanging it is the fact that it wants me to click on this one window that's behind here. All right. Well. Oh. Here, hold on a second. Okay, so here's the dialogue that I got. You just closed a dockable window. If you'd like to show it again, use the docks menu on the menu bar. And then there's a little, like, there's a little menu here that says, do not show again. And I can't reach it because there is a window here in front of it that's frozen. I can't exit the thing. And Task Manager has failed me. What the fuck? I hate you. If only I had the ability to, like, hide the other window. Maybe, is there any way that I could possibly, like, tab my way over there? Possibly. Did that do it? That did it! That did the thing! I got out of the dialogue! Shit! And now, do you want to end system process console window host? No, cancel. No, cancel, it's good. Okay. All right, now... Okay, bring back... go back to docs. Bring back Twitch chat. Because that was one of the reasons why it broke previously. Okay. Now, place my preview back up here. I did close out of my music, so I gotta go and grab that real quick. Hallelujah! Give me a moment. Do I have a playlist sitting around somewhere that I could just start up the music? I really should. I do this manually. I go and, like, select all the music myself, and I don't know why. Just set up a playlist, Mr. Bit. Mr. Bit and Bits. Alright! Connor says, sorry for being late. Oh, you missed a fun little glitch moment. It was great. I'm so happy I didn't have to restart. Holy shit, I was just about to do that. Alright, let me start up the other processes. Let's start up the Stream Deck and Discord again. Oh, Strawberry says, I got Slime Rancher 2. I got Slime Rancher 2 as well. I'm just waiting for, like, 1.0 to come out, and then I'm gonna play it. And, like, I'm super excited for it, but it definitely sounds like it's just not there yet. Like, there's not enough content. But given enough time, I feel like they're probably going to have, like... They're probably going to iron it out and have 1.0 out. I mean, it sounds like it's going to happen in 2025. That's what I'm thinking. They don't have any, like, clear ETA yet, but... Cheetos! Hello, I have returned.
Hello, welcome back.
Hi. So I managed to do it without restarting.
Hey.
Basically, I hit tab enter until eventually I hit the checkbox that I needed to hit in order to close out of that one window. So I did it completely blindly. But after that, everything unwound. Oh, you know what? Give me a sec. I'm actually going to mute myself and deafen myself on this call. I want to go and check that 3D print that I've got sitting in the background. I want to see if it, it finished its first layer properly. So, yeah, give me a second. Yeah, and we will return in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Hold on. No, you don't want to ingest Snap. Now, you don't want to ingest Snap, because if you do that, cooked or uncooked, that's how he's going to possess you. That is not a good idea. Anyway, 3D print looks like the first layer laid out pretty much perfectly. So let's hope that that works. Otherwise, I'm about to waste about 7 hours. So... Yeah, we talked about Snatcher versus Barnaby. I don't know nearly enough about Barnaby. And that is by design. I have specifically been trying to avoid spoilers for Billy Bust Up, so. Even just, like, interacting a little bit too closely or too much with it. I'm making fan art of cooked Snab. I think that'd be kind of a neat little plate. Currently forgetting what I was going to do. Mood. Sounds like me. 24/7. I have a bunch of VTuber models now, and people love them. Do you now? Sounds interesting. Modded at Minecraft. And you have a bunch of, like, VTubers? Interest. Boiled or fried Snap, though.
Boiled.
I'm a big fan of fried food. Personally.
I don't know. I just threw something out there.
What?
You gave me a choice. I just threw something out there.
Oh. Which one did you choose?
Boiled.
Oh. I don't know if I've had boiled crab. I know I've had crab. I just don't know if I don't know if it was boiled. Probably. I have a PMG tuber of IK from Upturned. Oh wait, from the Upturned. Oh, interesting. I made one for one of the senior mods in the CRK Discord, and they're using it whenever she's in the VC. Heck yeah, man! That's fun. I'm glad to hear that your stuff is getting used. It's good to put work into something and, like, actively... What was that?
Here comes the sun. Oh, God, here comes the sun!
Here comes... God, we were talking about Crash Bandicoot earlier today, and that's just reminding me of that one Kid Icarus joke where he was making fun of the weird egg-looking thing from that one Crash Bandicoot mobile game. I don't know what it is called. Do you know even what I'm talking about?
Do I?
I don't even know.
The egg-shaped thing.
I don't know. He's a weird egg. OMG, you like that? You like it that much? Crash on the Run? I don't remember. Brain. I don't know. It was weird and egg-shaped, and he was in like a weird robot. Ah. The serene music from the Slime Rancher. Relax. Chillax. Everything's fine. Nothing else is going to break tonight. Apparently we had like 46 dropped frames at some point. Okay. Wonder what the heck that was about. And when did that happen? It didn't happen recently, that's for sure. They do, in fact, love the model, and another mod asked to collab on a model. Hey, nice. Y'all getting to do work? Sound good? Making a name for yourself. No, not the drop frames. Having a couple drop frames is not bad. You know, like, a handful is okay. Keep in mind, this stream outputs at like 60 frames per second. So we literally didn't even lose a second of frames. We fine. We good. I should always remind myself to disable the soundboard when using Blender. Yeah, you were talking about how you scared yourself with the soundboard. Oopsies. I suppose if you're using Blender, you're probably using a bunch of like your number keys, like hotkeys. If you're not, good freaking God. You are hurting yourself by not. The sun is a deadly laser. Is that because of the light? Because if so, then the moon. I said deadly laser. Is a deadly laser. The sun is a deadly laser.
It's especially deadly because I'm a vampire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Vampires. Not anymore. There's a blanket.
Yeah, well, it ain't working so well for me.
Literally, I pressed the camera shortcut, which is 0. Ah, okay. Also had Half-Life 2 beta stalker scream in the soundbar. Ouch. Oh, that's terrifying. Blue Pikmin art. Oh, yeah. Blue Pikmin are weird. I hated a model recently because there's no front-facing photo of a cookie I had to model. It's better now. Ah, you need a good reference. You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later. Took forever to get it right. Man, yeah, major vibes. Whenever I do anything in 3D software, I'm just like, oh God, is it good? Is it? Does it look proper?
It be perfect.
Yeah. Found a fun 4-hour video about the failure of the Star Wars hotel. So, are we referring to that one Star Horse?
What?
Are we referring to that one Star Wars hotel that was like the weird experience type of hotel? You know the one, right, Kyle?
No.
Oh, yeah, there was a Star Wars hotel, and they kind of billed it as being this crazy... Oh, yeah. Okay, so Pierce is saying the Star Wars LARP hotel. Basically, you spent a shitload of money, and you're basically paying to LARP as a Star Wars character, living with other Star Wars characters inside of this hotel. And from what I know, like... I don't think they forbid you from leaving, but they definitely, like, discouraged it. The entire idea was they wanted to supply everything you needed at the hotel, and your whole thing was you're supposed to, like, experience Star Wars, and you're supposed to experience, like, oh, you are one of the people that's living on board this ship that is flying off into space and whatnot. Oh, yeah, Pierce says you have to stay on the property to get your money's worth. Yeah, pretty much. Also, we have a Des Moines. Oh, is your mic working? Snatcher says, I've done LARP before. So here's the main issue with that hotel, though. It's super ridiculously expensive. Definitely way more expensive than it should be. And, and like, again, all to pretend that you are a funny Star Wars character for a brief period. And it's not even a great show either. Not really.
Yikes.
Hey, there it is. Hi, how's it going?
Test.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm awake. How's everybody? How's what's happened?
Not a heck of a lot. Currently running a casual stream to see if we have any weird internet hiccups here. I hope not.
That would be bad.
Oh yeah, so Pierce says, it seriously cost $5,000 for a 2-night stay. Disney closed it almost a year after opening.
It cost
you should probably mention that
$1,000.
This hotel started kind of didn't it start like right around the like 2021, 2022? Basically, the era where nobody was spending any extra money on anything frivolous, and we were all locking ourselves down because we didn't want to catch the COVID.
The COVID, not just anything. The COVID.
The vid.
Don't catch the COVID now.
Mm-hmm. He'll get you.
That would be the bad if you understand the COVID. If you get the COVID. Okay, let's see.
Pierce says, "Oh yeah, and they can't reopen the hotel with the LARP without the LARP elements because the hotel's capacity is too small." Right. So basically, they'd have to. Yeah, the hotel had only about 100 rooms. So essentially, they'd have to like. It's just a slightly more cool hotel that like. You couldn't charge that much for the hotel stay, that's for sure. Because if it's just a regular ass hotel, so you probably wouldn't be making your money's worth on that. Ugh. I don't know. I'm too practical in my older age. I look at something like that and I go like, why spend that much money on something when you can like, I don't know, spend it on a more fun experience? Like you could go to the arcade, you could go to like an amusement park. Like you could buy yourself something nice. I don't want to pretend to be a Star Wars character for like 2 days. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that the hotel doesn't have windows because you're supposed to be in space.
But
yeah,
Spice.
The one place that cannot be corrupted by
capitalism.
And also, Shell is here. How much did I miss? I mean, nothing crazy. It's a casual stream. Not really. Not a whole bunch. It's fine. They didn't miss much.
It's okay.
It's basically, oh, well, you guys did miss, like, a complete fuck-up on OBS's part. But I don't know how it happened, but somehow I moved my preview window for my my VTuber rig, which I have instructed the window to be up always on top of all other windows. And so I shrunk it and was trying to move it. And somehow, while doing that, I also accidentally clicked out of the Twitch. Like, I have a dashboard for Twitch up in this window. I accidentally exited out of that. And then OBS gave me a little prompt that was like reminding me that like, hey, you've just clicked out of this docked item. If you want to reopen it, go over to your dock menu and then click on it. But the problem is I couldn't actually reach that dialogue because I had moved my preview window over it. But here's the thing. It wanted me to click that window and confirm that until like, you know, and if I didn't do that, I couldn't actually click on like, I couldn't move my little preview window. I couldn't move any other parts of OBS. I had to click yes on that little dialogue before it allowed me to do anything. So it basically just froze up my freaking thing. Sounds like a virus to me or something. It wasn't. It was just really dumb luck and stupid clicking. But then I opened it up Task Manager and I attempted to try and like I clicked the thing to try and exit it out of like a window in OBS because I'm like, well, let's try and close out a couple of these because maybe one of them will be right. And then Task Manager froze. And I'm like, I'm in hell.
You were supposed to help me, not join them.
Get me out of here. I don't want to be stuck in this perpetual hell. Luckily, I managed to like tab enter until eventually I found the right dialogue box. Pierce says, if you have $5,000 to blow, you could go to Japan for 2 weeks and see everything from Tokyo to Osaka. Right!
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Oh, Shell says I lost Spinkles. Oh, no! Where's Spinkles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Rip Spinkles. They will live on in my heart. May I send a GIF in a general chat in my Discord server? Go for it. And also, you asked if I liked your profile picture. Oh, I can't really see it from here. It's really tiny. Hold on. Yeah, I can barely tell what that is. If I had to choose between going to a Star Wars hotel or seeing the Nintendo Museum, I know where I'm going. Heck yeah, man! Dude, I am not that much of a Star Wars nerd. I like me some Star Wars, but not that much. I put him in his case. I just don't remember where I left it. Oh, no! I'm so tired of Star Wars. You know what's funny? It's a good movie for 1977.
That's it.
I just feel like people are sick of like the standard formula for Star Wars. And like now that Disney owns it, they were trying to shove it down our throats like it was going out of style or something. And then we all were like, oh, you know, maybe this ended at a good point.
You know, I haven't even seen any of the new movies.
You're not missing much.
I didn't think so.
I mean, it's literally just the original trilogy again, except with better graphics. That's it. That's all it is. They tried so hard to make it something different, but it really isn't anything else. Wars in space. Yep. Star Wars is just space politics. He hated that. Well, the prequels were definitely really heavy in that. They're a little bit more like they lean a little bit more into the fanciness and the fancifulness of Star Wars and Space Wizards in the original trilogy. In my opinion, it's always been a little bit political, but it was definitely political in the prequels. Like, my God.
The spring.
Oh, gay eggs from Hazbin Hotel. Weird. Cooked snab. Ooh, tasty. Prequels are about how democracy slides into fascism. The original trilogy is World War II in space. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Watched a YouTube video of a political analyst going over the first 3 movies.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking like the original trilogy, right?
Yeah. No, the episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
How'd that go?
It was interesting. They explained some things that I didn't really pay attention to, mostly because I was a dumbass kid.
Yeah. I mean, there's some interesting stuff about the original trilogy. I know a lot of people clowned on it and made a lot of jokes. Heck, I made a lot of jokes. I still make a lot of jokes. But it has its moments. Like, one thing I can definitely say, at least it's different. The sequel trilogy is World War II in space. Again, says Pierce. Speaking of which, hello.
Hello, I'm sorry. I just wanted to jump in here and rant a little bit about the original trilogy of Star Wars because holy crap, there's some hilarious stuff in there.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, so first of all, the original George Lucas rough cut of Star Wars, not the final released theatrical version, but like the version even earlier than that, after they had finished filming everything and they were just cutting the movie just to see, okay, how does this story flow with all the stuff that we've shot? That version of the movie, it was hot garbage. And
I remember you saying something about that.
yeah, and there's two things that I think are very, very fascinating about how hot garbage it was and how it was fixed. The first thing is at the very end of the movie, there's this very, very important scene that happens where they do the trench run and then Luke fires the torpedoes at the Death Star and blows it up, and it's this big triumphant moment. In the original cut of the movie, the Death Star was not doing anything in that scene.
So I was just sitting there doing nothing, and there wasn't any.
It was
threat?
just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, just waiting to be blown up.
Great.
Anything where anyone mentions that the Death Star is like only 5 minutes away from blowing up the Rebel base, all of that was added in editing afterwards by George Lucas's wife at the time.
Oh, that's great.
And she was basically an absolutely amazing editor, and she's the only reason that movie was watchable.
Damn.
Her name is Marsha Lucas. She's the reason that movie won the Oscar for Best Editing. And after that movie came out, George and her split up and got a divorce. And I believe my theory is that that's the reason why George keeps going back in and wanting to mess with his movies and doing those special editions and edits. And even though he keeps doing that, it's still never as good as what his wife did. There's something going on there, and this is my tinfoil hat theory, that he's doing all of this because he's trying to find some way to one-up his ex-wife.
So how many of the movies was she a part of, though?
Just that one.
Just that one?
That one?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because he's made differences in the other movies, too. I just think he's like... As you change and as you look at your previous productions over time, you tend to have regrets and ideas about what could have been. And very rarely do you get an opportunity to be able to rectify that.
Oh,
and
wait, no, sorry. Actually, she worked on Return of the Jedi as well.
Oh.
So
okay.
she did 2 out of 3 movies, and the one that she didn't work on was the one that George Lucas didn't direct or write. So
that would be... Which one was that? Because I'm not...
Empire.
Okay.
Strikes
All
Back.
right.
That's...
There's something to that.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since I've dipped my toes into the lore of Star Wars. I just know this guy did that, then that guy did that, then we come back, and now it's a prequel, and now it's a sequel, and now it's a prequel again. It's just like I've stopped trying to understand, like, when The Force Awakens came out, like that around there. I was just like, this is too much.
It is
like,
the prequels, the original trilogy, and the new trilogy. Basically.
Yeah.
Just think of it like the prequels are 1, 2, and 3. The original trilogy is 4, 5, and 6. And these last 3 movies are 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
I want to talk about.
But the problem is, like,
in a bit here that I will never not get mad over. But yeah, like after this conversation's died down, I want to talk about a studio that I am very I've researched about, or I've just something that I was like, wait, they didn't do that, and that is, if you will, let me have the floor. This is the Warner Brothers deciding to write off Wile E. Coyote versus Acme as a tax write-off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been on my mind since I've heard about it, and this is very frustrating because, you may not know, I am an avid. I love the Looney Tunes. I don't talk about it a lot, but my point is that to have something as a tax write-off is really sketchy. Like, what did you have? Like, it makes me wonder what exactly I see you move your arms, Bitby. Like, anyway. Okay, yes, now you're doing it. But, what exactly transpired to make the decision of, like, you know what, seems like a fun film. You know what we should do? We should write it as a tax write-off.
Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
because.
It's hard to say. Like,
So
I mean, clearly-
the most recent update regarding Coyote versus Acme specifically is that tax day is April 15th. That cannot change. That's just what it is. And allegedly, after April 15th happened, Warner Brothers was still in talks with other studios to see if anybody else wanted to distribute the movie. And that means that they specifically could not have written it off as taxes, because if they did, then that means nobody else could release it. So it's possible that movie has not fully been put in the been buried yet. However, the movie still doesn't have a distributor because Warner Brothers still has their head up there. Sorry.
Go ahead. They do.
Yeah, so we
firmly planted up there.
Yep. So we still don't have a way to actually watch it. However, somebody did leak the plot synopsis onto the internets. There's a Pastebin link you can find if you look hard enough. We have gotten confirmation that it is a legit synopsis of what the plot was. It is very, very good.
Of course it's good.
If you want to get it, if you want to see what's in it, we at least know what's in it.
What's the plot? Because I want it.
It's very, very good. Do you actually want me to look up the plot right now and spoil it for you?
No, because maybe it will be released, and
One
maybe
day it might be
Warner's-
released, yeah.
Maybe it will.
I will say that the plot is hilarious, and it's also very, very touching and heartfelt, and it would have been the greatest Warner Brothers Looney Tunes cartoon theatrically released that we would have gotten.
Really? That good?
Yeah. It's really good. There's some stuff in there that honestly I think it would have probably made people
That
cry. It's so good.
No, because
Aw.
that's like if you're saying like that, that would be like up there with like all the classic Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
movie
I
stuff.
think
It's been a long time since
based on the
anything.
synopsis, it's up there.
It's been a long
Like-
time since anything from Warner Brothers has honestly been groundbreaking or even done
Mhm.
anything to push the needle. So
There is one
to hear
thing,
that
but the
Coyote
only
versus
reason-
Acme,
There is one thing, but that they did last year that actually was kind of groundbreaking and cool. But I think that was just done in spite of Warner Brothers because most people don't realize it's a Warner Brothers property.
what was that?
Barbie.
Barbie.
Oh yeah, right.
Yep, that Warner Brothers
Barbie
distributed
was
that
Warner
movie.
Brothers?
That was Warner Brothers. That made over $1 billion
That's
at the
so
box
funny
office,
because
and
it's
people
That
don't
almost
know.
feels like a
Oh,
fluke.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a fluke because Greta Gerwig is a really great director, and they just let her go ham on it. And they
Well,
knew
yeah.
it was going to make money anyway because it's Barbie. But yeah,
Right.
and
Kinda
also
like
the
you
whole
have to
Barbenheimer
slip
meme
in
that
your
they just
Citizen
kept riding.
Kane with your brand ideals.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
Which
I
is
could talk
unfortunate.
about
And
Warner
for some
Brothers,
reason-
I could talk about the Muppets. I could talk about all my current hyperfixations.
God, rest in peace, the Muppets. You are currently under the mouse, and the mouse forgot you.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because they see what happens is that they keep getting revived, but then they're like, then they'll be like, you know what? You only had 7 episodes. Okay, no more. I don't
How
care if
many
you're in the
times
end.
have I have heard so many people say that if you want to do a good thing with the Muppets, just do the Muppet Show.
That's it.
Just
literally
don't
just
Muppet
do
Show.
what
Don't
just do what
cancel
made
it.
the Muppets work.
Just
just
don't
do it.
cancel it. Keep it going.
Make-
Keep it going.
Make
But
a
how can we
Muppet
But will people still care about the Muppets in this modern age? How will people relate to
care about
Kermit
the
the
Muppets,
Frog
that's what
if he's
matters.
not doing funny TikTok dances? How can we make this work?
Yeah, that is very true. I feel
That's
like
the
we need
corrupt
him
corporate
to say
executive
some.
look.
I feel like we need him to say some very trendy lingo like Gyat and Riz.
Why
No, he
isn't
doesn't
Fozzie
need to
Bear
do
coming
that.
out of the
whole
Skibbity
success
toilet?
of the Muppet Show originally was that
Exactly.
it was just zany and wacky and had special guests, not because they were trying to be all like, oh, L this or yacht and all that other stuff.
We can't
was
let him
just-
sing the Rainbow Connection song because we can't release that in China.
Oh well. Wait, is
Oh,
that actually
God.
true?
That's unfortunately that's probably been said somewhere in a boardroom.
Wait,
And I hate that.
You know someone would say it. Some heartless
Mhm.
asshole.
Oh yeah, somebody would just be like, "Oh, we can't let people think that there's like rainbows and freedom." Mm-mm.
Now
That's
anyway,
gonna
go
hint at
finish
the
filming that
idea of
Milan
gay
remake next to
people.
the concentration camp. No one will care.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they did, by the way. Anyway,
You know, we're gonna be woke in the way that we're not gonna be woke. We're gonna
we're going to be woke, but only on this side of the bed.
Yeah, we're gonna take off the Aristocats
Right.
for a bit because of it has that one scene in it, and we're not gonna address it. But we're gonna bring it back eventually. But we're not gonna bring it. We're not gonna tell you why. It's just gonna be there, arguably on Disney Plus. Yeah, they took off the Aristocats because of that one scene.
Yeah.
Right.
God.
Yet they still allow Dumbo.
Yes, and if
How?
you know.
I still like.
Oh, if you know, you freaking know. Holy crap,
know
Dumbo is.
we need.
Oh,
we
nah,
need.
no.
We were making fun of Warner Brothers before, but I think everybody knows about what Warner Brothers did, like when they released that one cartoon compilation, right?
When?
You know about this, right? Like they released a cartoon compilation of a bunch of their old cartoons a long time ago, but they
50
put a little
Greatest
Was it like?
disclaimer.
Was it like?
Oh, yeah.
They put that little
Oh,
disclaimer on there that basically said, "Hey, we don't approve of any like of a bunch of the things that are in here, and these were made at a different time." So you know.
We can get that. We get that. We have this thing called cultural context, and we have this thing
Right.
called like. Yeah,
Also, we have brains. We can piece it together. I'm not going to cancel Warner Brothers because they said a shitty thing one time. It's
Oh
fine.
no, this is from what, the 1920s? Oh yes, this is the time. Yes, and we moved on.
Right. I know that people were misogynistic and shitty in the 60s. I get
I
it.
know that there is a
And the
Hitler
40s.
Donald Duck
And the
cartoon.
40s.
We know that.
And even way before then. Like,
Actually, there is one other canceled Looney Tunes short that was being done recently. It involved Bugs Bunny on the run from basically the Grim Reaper. And at near the end of the episode, then Bugs would have basically been caught by the Grim Reaper, and Bugs would have said, "Why are you even coming after me? What did I do?" And then the Grim Reaper would just hold up like an iPad or something and would just start playing one of the old racist Bugs Bunny cartoons. And then Bugs would say, "Yeah, okay, you know what? That's fair." It was really funny.
You know what? You got a point.
Yeah, it was really funny.
No, that's too funny. We have to make it so we can never be clever or renounced. And don't even
Well,
get me started
it's-
on our animation.
It's
Let's
not
make
that
it
they
fluid
don't want to
anymore.
be funny. It's, you know.
They just don't care.
I'm sure they like jokes. It's just like, oh no, but we don't want to be canceled on the Tekken Talks. It's an example of like, corporate heads just have absolutely no idea how to actually work with people. Like, they know how to work with numbers, and that's it. Like, they know statistics, and
corporate
that's
executives
it. They can't.
corporate executives do not serve you. They serve shareholders and no one else. If they
Mm-hmm.
all they care about is making sure that the line keeps going up. And they're going to do that by any means necessary, even if that means
Like-
cutting staff or making crappy products. As long as the line go up, that's all that matters to them.
Right. Well, the one thing that's going to scare shareholders away is, God forbid you go and you reference the fact that you did a really racist thing one in the 60s. You know,
Like-
like,
You
You want to
know
know what really baffles me?
what?
Hmm?
Like, okay, you know how Disney loves to pretend that Song of the South doesn't exist.
yes.
We get
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I understand that. It makes sense. And they're also changing the Splash Mountain ride so it's themed around Princess and the Frog instead. Okay,
I was about
fine.
to say, don't you mean Princess and the Frog?
Right. So, okay. So that means, okay, got it. Moving forward, we're just not going to talk about Song of the South anymore. Cool. So, meanwhile, there's this other project that Disney Imagineering is working on. It's called Cotino. Does anybody know what that is?
Sounds very.
No.
No, actually, just tell me what it is because
Cricket.
I guess
Okay.
I'd be completely incorrect.
Okay, so there's this really, really weird thing that some people do where you have way too much money and you have a brand. So what you do is you partner with a whole bunch of home builders and you build a planned community neighborhood and theme it to something.
Oh, are they doing? Is it the Disney?
So
thing?
out in the middle of the California desert in like Palm Springs, I think, they're building this neighborhood called Cotino, a story living by Disney community. This is
Yeah.
real. You can Google
this
it.
sounds like
I
some
know that. I know how
story
Orwellian this sounds.
Twilight
Bit. I see your
Zone.
expression right now.
Just-
I know you're thinking
I
this
hate
is just
this.
Epcot 2.0. I get it. But
This
here's
really
the thing
sounds
that's
like-
weird to me. Here's the
Sounds
thing
like
that's
a
weird to me.
Twilight Zone meets the Lorax meets the Black Mirror.
So obviously this place is just going to be like Disney themed, right? Like
Yeah.
there's going to be a community center. They're going to rebuild the powerhouse from The Incredibles, and you can do weddings there. It's that kind of crap. Means to that is a dog park called the Laughing Place Ranch. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, but I
I'm
thought
trying
we
to
weren't
remember-
doing Song of the South.
Laughing Place. That's
Also,
wow.
that just sounds so.
That's Song of the
ominous.
South. You're.
That sounds very ominous. Laughing.
Are you
Place.
kidding me? That's Song
Yeah,
of the
that
South.
sounds like-
That's
Yeah, first of all, yeah, that
Ugh.
sounds really ominous. First of all,
It's
second
like,
of all, yeah,
we have
okay,
people
we're gonna
here,
reference
yep.
it there.
people go here. We
thinking-
are humans. Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is that like this is not a new concept. I know that like Disney literally discussed the idea of doing exactly this, where he wanted to create like his own township of people and like basically build his own society where everybody would just live happily and merrily. Which by the way, in and of itself had a whole bunch of like built-in weird stereotypes and creepy things.
I'll say it sounds weird at face value.
Like I mean,
Disney being this sketchy man, no kidding.
His idea was like he was going to have a whole bunch of specific jobs and people were going to be happy to do them. And, you know, I think there was going to be some weird classist undertones in a few of the different jobs that he had simply because, like, you know, Disney was kind of racist in a weird way.
in a
you
lot
know,
of ways.
In a lot of ways. But in his mind, he was just like, whatever, society will work. People will be fine with it because that's how it is. And things will never change.
Because everyone knows Walt was always a great judge of people. That's why his entire studio went on strike against him in the 60s. What? Okay.
I don't know.
But yeah,
That didn't happen.
they said they're specifically trying to move away from doing any references to any of that horrible past, which is great. And then they build the Laughing Place Ranch in a neighborhood.
I feel like they were just running out of references, so they're just like,
They own so
Right.
much crap, though. You could have named it literally anything. It's just it's a dog park. You could have done like a Lady and the Tramp thing. You could have done a 101 Dalmatians thing.
Actually,
could
yeah,
have
you're
even
right. Now
done
I'm
an
angry.
Aristocats
Now I'm
thing.
angry. You could have made it 101 Dalmatians Park, and I would have been frustrated. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Or you could have done Pluto's
Pluto's
Or
Or
Playground.
Pluto.
Pluto's Playground, there you go.
Pluto's Playground. Holy shit.
They're dogs. Disney loves dogs. They can do so much with that.
I'm now convinced that whoever was behind the decision for that had to have been some really butthurt, angry, like very angry individual, a part of the team, who was just like, I am so sick and tired of working for the mouse. You know what? I'm going to do this one decision to spite him.
Yep, and then he's just like, yeah, let's just do one last Song of the South reference, because I'm never going to let that die for some reason. No, don't do that.
Chaos!
Ugh.
I could see that. Also, Shell says, speaking of Prince and the Frog, I remember people were mad that the prince wasn't voiced by an African-American voice actor like Tiana.
Huh?
Man, I'm on a couple of different wavelengths for that. Number one, I do think that there needs to be a lot more people of color allowed to be voice actors and allowed to do different parts.
Agreed.
But simultaneously, I also kind of have this ideal that it's not necessarily a bad thing by itself to have a person of color ended up being voiced by someone who isn't. Either one has the opportunity to be right. Good example. I know that Devin Mack, you probably know him. He does the voice of Sonic and Sonic Prime, as well as he's friends with fun little raccoon guy. He's gone into detail about his attempts to try and break into the voice acting sphere, and one of the things that always bothered him, and the thing that always gave him trouble, was that he would go into audition for some big production, and he would always be typecast as like the young black kid, and that's kind of it. And he would just be sitting there, just being like, "Can I have like I auditioned for these other things as well. I was like, can I take those ones?" And he never got those jobs. Like, and I don't know whether or not they just specifically told him this or not, but it was always kind of under the impression that, well, you're not really the color, so therefore we're not going to do that. Which is a shame because
that's really not great. He's a great actor. He should be
super
able to voice
talented,
any
and he's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
And so, if anything, typecasting like that can potentially lock people of color out of getting potential roles and potential jobs. And I think that's kind of arbitrary. And the same
Yeah,
thing can be
And
said
that shit
for like,
sucks.
dude, if you can do a proper voice for a character, I think you should just be allowed.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thought. Like, and
I'd also like to point out that there's one role where there's the person who voices him. He does an absolutely perfect job voicing the character, and he is not the character's nationality at all, and everyone loves him, and he has had no issues whatsoever. Samurai Jack. He's a
Yes?
Japanese.
Oh, yes.
He's a Japanese character voiced by a
Phil
black guy.
Lamar.
yeah,
And
Phil Lamar,
Everyone
He's a
loves.
very,
Everyone loves
very
him. His performance is perfect.
Because he's
Phil
Phil
Lamar, badass
Yeah.
man.
You can't.
I love
you
that
can't
guy.
Just be like, I hate Phil Lamar, because then you were like, what's wrong with him?
That's
Oh,
like
no.
hating. That's like hating Fred Rogers. You don't do that.
No, you don't do that.
He's
No,
just
no.
and
Phil
it's like,
Lamar is good. It's. I mean,
Yes.
that's like hating LeVar Burton. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
yeah.
He's the funny guy that reads the stories, and also he's like, you know, he has the visor that he wears on Star Trek. It's like, dog. No. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's just a case of if you got the voice and if you're capable of doing it, you should just be allowed to do the part. Like, and I know there's a little bit of an awkwardness to it. Like, you can't exactly skirt around it. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird if you had black guy being voiced by the white guy and vice versa. But it's just like, it's not really about what you look like, it's what you sound like. It's what you characterize. And I think that's way more important than anything else. If anything, that's a very, very good example of a situation where the color of your skin and the color of who you are is not important. When it comes to just, I mean, you know, the color of your skin isn't important. It's who you are. That's it. That's the thing. And also, Pierce says, gotta go. Okay, thanks for coming in and chatting, Pierce. I'm going to stay up until I crash. Good luck. I'm trying to think of some other stuff, like, related to either Disney or Looney Tunes or anything like that. I remember when I was watching... I watched like a lot of Cartoon Network back in the day, and I watched a lot of like Toonheads, and that's where I saw a lot of my Looney Tunes exposure. I think it's like Toonheads, and I saw a lot of either like, I think it was like Looney Tunes, and also I think I saw a lot of Tom and Jerry on that block too. Or maybe it was just like the Tom and Jerry block separate. I don't know. Cartoon Network had, you know what? I think somebody said recently that like the one thing that Cartoon Network did that was absolutely perfect. Cartoon Network cared about cartoons. Like, that is what ended up making them successful at the end of the day. Like, Nickelodeon were like, we're making stuff for kids, but that could be a lot of things. So we're just going to throw a lot of live action stuff. And, oh boy, live action stuff is doing fairly decent. You know what? Let's just stick with live action. Screw the animation crew. Also, like, just give a bunch of funding to the Loud House and SpongeBob and completely ignore all the other cartoon stuff. Goodbye. Meanwhile, Cartoon Network is just like, oh yes, we love cartoons and also we love cartoons history. Here's a whole bunch of oldies as well as a bunch of new stuff. You know, like, they cared about the cartoons. I don't know how much of the oldies they cover nowadays, but I know they covered a lot of the older stuff back when I was younger. And it was funny stuff, man. I mean, it definitely, you know, you don't want to, like, take inspiration from Tom and Jerry. That ain't something that you want to be, like, idolizing too much. Because you're going to end up running into a wall and turning into a set of bowling pins. That will be bowled over. Jump scare. Oh, Shell is over on the YouTube now. Hello. Twitch keeps glitching. Very interesting. It still says I've only dropped 46 frames throughout the entire stream. So I'm assuming that might be your device. So that's surprising. That's different. Someone else is having a problem. All right. Loud House fandom is hell. Don't expose yourself to it. I know close to nothing about it. For the record, by the way. I'm not claiming to say it's good. I'm not claiming to say it's bad. I'm just saying that, like, Nick made its decision. They threw all their chips into a couple of very specific piles, and Loud House and SpongeBob are the two. All right. I made Cook Snap for you on the art channel. Oh, really? You did? Oh. Good. I'm gonna go check that. Also, Snarls. Whoops! I broke the stream. I like the shading that you did on my head. It definitely it looks very watery. I like that. Thank you, Snarls. And also, let's take a look at the cooked snab. Why do I look so derpy? Why do I just look nerp? Nerp. Oh, dude, that's actually one day I'm gonna get like an updated model, and I want toggles, and I want to have a derp toggle. Yeah. I want to have a toggle that just makes my eyes go. I've seen a couple of VTubers that do that. Like, I'm not a pioneer of that one, but I just love the visual. I like the look of it. It's fucking great. Stay blissful, bit. Stay blissfully unaware. Fair enough. That was what I was hoping it would look like. I for some reason, like, you know, it's interesting looking at that because it almost looks like my head is being illuminated by the monitor light. I gotta say, Snarls, you do amazing, like, color and shading work. Like, on top of the fact that, you know, your sketching and all that jazz has always looked kind of like, ooh, creep and surreal. Like, your glowy stuff is neat. iPad getting low. Also, Samsung. Oh, Samsung. For your safety, don't get involved. Understood. I don't know. I honestly don't care. Like whatever you like. I don't really watch cartoons nowadays. Which is funny, because I really feel like the bit is kind of like massively based off of like cartoon aesthetic. My recent stuff has gotten even better with the shading, even in things meant to be 20-minute doodles. Ain't that how it is? Like, you tell yourself, I think I'm just going to make a silly little thing. Whatever. Yeah, it's just something I think would be funny. And then like 5 hours later, you're like, what have I made? This was supposed to be like a quick shit post. And now I've created a magnum opus. What happened? Chocolate milk. I haven't had chocolate milk in a while. Let's see. What other stuff related to like either cartoons or anything like that? That was just my life, man. I watched a lot of cartoons. I mean, I watched a lot of like the early SpongeBob. You know, I was just thinking about this the other day. My next VTuber model is Dark Cacao Cookie, which I'm starting tomorrow. Ooh, neat. Grumpy Cookie all the way. Dark Cacao is grumpy? Is he a grumpy old man? Because, like, grumpy old men like dark chocolate? To be fair, I like dark chocolate.
Dark Cacao Cookie. Ooh. He's very deep and he's got angst issues.
Ooh. Oh! So emo cookie.
Yeah. Well, his son is also very emo, so yeah, it runs in the family.
That sounds amazing.
I know.
So you're in the Cookie Run Kingdom fandom?
Of course I am. Did you forget? Yeah,
I guess I forgot.
I'm a Cookie Run fandom.
I was in a VC with the CRK VAs. Ooh, very nice. That must have been fun.
Yeah. I
Did you make them say anything silly?
Day.
Yeah, I guess like I completely forgot. Yeah, you had some Cookie Run related stuff a long time ago. It's just been a while. I spotted a video song that you made for the conductor. Oh no. Well, that means that can only mean one thing.
You see, remember that was way back when.
Take my horse to the old town road.
I remember that, and
I remember that.
I remember that.
I think one of my my ears. Man, one of my favorite things about that was just singing the accompanying like tracks and having them line up. That totally it worked surprisingly well. I have no idea. And it's weird hearing like the chorus of Picnics in the background.
Picnic.
It was so great. Picnic. It was silly but perfect. Also, I intentionally went for the goofiest freaking cowboy hat I could find, and it was that inflatable one. And I've had people comment about that, just being like, "Why does he have an inflatable cowboy hat?" Because haha.
He who, as he will.
It's gonna get stuck in my head.
Dare I get this microphone? It's such a gent. I've been
What
putting
microphone
off
you
this
looking at?
game. The one that you told me about. I mean, I've been paid. I have money in the bank. I'm just like, that could help me. That could definitely
Yeah,
help
maybe.
me. And I am gonna be off. I am gonna have summer vacation, and I kind of do want to be a voice actor. And I kind of do would like not have just my whatever the heck this is. And it kind of does look cool. It's a very tricky thing because I'm either I either spend too much or I don't spend it at all. There is no in between.
Yeah, I think I recommended 2 mics to you. Both of
Yeah.
them were from Blue, if I remember right.
Yes.
Which, by the way, again, Blue microphones, like, some people, like, shit on Blue Yeti microphones. But, hey, they are decent USB microphones.
This is not a paid promotion, by the way.
Yeah. I mean,
This is not.
I literally just said people shit on those microphones.
Yes.
If this were a paid promotion, it'd be a bad one.
A very, very bad one because we can't talk. You can't talk about that.
Strawberry. Oh, it says, tell the person I said hi bit. I'm from the CRK official Discord and from
That's
the
me.
server helpers. Who?
Hi, I'm also here. Hi. Hi, Strawberry Crepe. At last, I am the person in question. I am
Wow.
a Cookie Run fan. And, yeah.
Hello.
Hello there.
Bit I'll be RB. Okie dokie. Do you like chocolate milk? I like chocolate milk. I just
chocolate.
Chalky milk.
I like
I just never have like a reason to have chocolate milk.
like chocolate milk.
Silly but perfect. His grandkids watched it. We're watching it. Wasn't there that Oh god, did I leave that one Easter egg at the end of the video? I don't remember if I did.
Probably rotten by now.
Oh, no, I remember now. Wait a minute. This is a different clip. I sung a little clip of Take Me Home Country Roads, except as conductor once.
Take me home.
I remember. I don't think this was
Country
posted anywhere
road.
outside of Discord. And as an Easter egg at the very end of it, it's just conductor going, wait, no, I grew up in Edinburgh. What the heck am I talking about? I just think it'd be funny if, conductor was born in Edinburgh. There's an update on CRK on Wednesday, and it's Dark Cacao related. I'm excited as hell.
I know about it. I am so ready. Isn't it great that we're getting all this angst lore now? After the other angst lore, and then before that we had a cute houseware thing. Isn't that great? And then we had more angst before that, and then we had more angst before that. Sometimes we get a crossover episode, but that doesn't happen usually because now it's time for more angst.
Yeah.
Yay! Did you want
Angsty cookie lore. Wee.
Yay! Hooray!
I know that there are many, 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 many different types of cookies. Is there a vampire?
Yes, there is. His name's Uncle Vampire Cookie, and he's a really, really drunk. He's like a drunk cookie, and he's really, really drunk. Although he's not supposed to be drunk, he's actually he's really, 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 lazy and stuff. And he drinks
I hit a vein.
like grape juice and stuff, and then the joke is that he drinks wine, but it's for kids and stuff, and it's like, it's supposed to be like very, very like you hit
I
a game
want to
because,
suck
like,
your wine.
no, yeah, but it's for kids, so you can't say wine. So he's vampire cookie. What he does is that he flies around. He's actually really lazy because it's mainly in the daytime. And the whole joke is that he has a sister named Alchemist Cookie, who's who's basically just grape juice cookie or just grape cookie, and she's also like there's like women in STEM kind of thing, and like yeah, but there is a vampire cookie, and there's also the zombie cookie, but that's in like Cookie Run Ovenbird, which. He's never Zombie Cookie's never been in Cookie Run Kingdom. I don't think it'll ever be in Cookie Run Kingdom. But we do have a mummy cookie called fettuccine cookie, and yeah.
Yeah.
There was a ghost cookie. The ghost cookie is actually called onion cookie. It's speculated that the ghost cookie is called but onion cookies are the ghost cookie because no one else can see her except for Blackberry Cookie, who's also called Gothberry Cookie, like maybe because she looks like a goth girl.
Oh.
I can tell you more. I can tell you all about Cookie Run. I have been here in this fandom for years and years.
See, I'm not massively into checking out Cookie Run, but I will say, long ago, I mean, there's a stigma when it comes to like mobile games for me personally, because I grew up with like the early mobile games that were like, they were okay, but then they started moving in the direction of like more predatory types of purchases and whatnot, and Cookie Run Kingdom kind of sits within that era, like that kind of category for me personally. Yeah. I'm of the crew that I'm like, why can't I just spend like $5 to $10 and own a game myself? But that's just me, and I know that there are many other ways to enjoy a game and many other ways to pay for it. So and I think, in my opinion, like if a game is doing as well as you say it is, like if Cookie Run Kingdom is as good of a game as you say it is, and also, I mean, if any game similar to that kind of marketing style, whether it be like Genshin, whether it be, well, basically anything from the Honkai, whatever. I'm trying to remember, is that
Honkai Star Rail?
Yeah, those guys.
Honkai.
I'm trying to remember the parent company. Anything from them, basically. If it's anything from them, or Cookie Run Kingdom, or just any kind of a mobile game that has that kind of a marketing scheme, if it's a good game, and if you like it, support it. Enjoy it. Play thing. Pay for, like, goods and services. Get those loot boxes, I guess. It's when a company, like, is actively not really making a great game, but also shoving a bunch of loot boxes in your face. Is like that's when I sort of tune out. Or I'm just like, ooh, no. Or, worst case scenario, loot boxes in major video games. Nuts to that. Or, like, a company that is very actively making all of their games multiplayer only, or like multiplayer focused, because that's where all of the extra money comes in. Alt account got hacked, sorry, all caps. Oh, that's weird. My favorite character from CRK is Latte Cookie.
Yes, Latte Cookie. She's a professor, and she rides on a broom, and she's really pretty. But yeah, she's a wizard kind of thing. Yeah.
Aw, sounds adorable. Like that. I'm a server helper. It should tell you enough on where I stand. Yeah,
Yes.
right. I guess what I'm saying is, Cookie game good. I haven't personally played it, but it sounds like Cookie game good.
Mm-hmm.
I approve. Good stuff. Oh, you sent me the list of well, first of all, wow, all of them sponsored. Great. Here, I'll go ahead and send you some links to these mics. Let me just go to the good old Amazon.
Send me one, and then I'll go like, okay, because I don't want to go back and forth and be like, ooh. No, you tell me.
Well, this is like, this is information that I think would be pretty good for a lot of people. So, yeah, so you want to voice act, ladies and gentlemen.
I do.
Well, there are many ways that you can start. But But one thing that I would recommend, if you don't already have one, is getting a very decent mic, or at least something that's good to get you started. And I know that there are a lot of big shots out there that are like, don't go for a USB microphone. Don't do it. You should be getting an XLR plug, and you should be getting a proper mixer, and you should be making sure that you're recording things in 24-bit quality. Look, if you're starting out with just like fan dubs, and if you're just trying to get your feet wet, you don't need to get something super expensive. You really should start out with something that like can ease you into it. And from there, you can make a decision on whether or not you want to go crazy and do something with a more expensive mic. I've always recommended a pretty good starting company is Blue, which, by the way, that is a company that has been bought out by Logitech, which they're not doing great nowadays, but they still make good stuff. One of them that I would recommend taking a look at is the Blue Snowball. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this over into the chat. An Amazon link to those. There we go. This is a good starter microphone. It is about $50, and it's pretty decent. It does a good job of capturing pretty much anything that you need to record. Akumu says my phone is good though. Hey, that works.
Okay.
Oh, YouTube on my computer is lagging. Oh, weird. Anyway, this is kind of a good starter in my opinion. This is one that's like, it works on PC, it works on Mac. It's like, as well, it's very easy to set up. It comes with plenty of like instructions on things that like, you know, how to actually use said microphone, and tips and tricks for how you know, what distance you put your mouth to, that kind of thing. It's good. You say that it's really lagging. I have not had any drop frames over here, so there's the good news. Apparently it's not on my end, so I apologize, Akumu, but... Actually, let me check the task manager real quick. Yep, no, we're smooth. Weird. Anyway, this would be a good starter microphone, in my opinion. Now, for a lot of people, they say that the next step up is something like the... if you want to stay within the Blue branding, you should go for something like the Blue Yeti. This is another one of those microphones that it gets a whole lot of hate. Because they're just like, oh, dude, you spent $100 on a Blue Yeti when you could have bought, like, a really decent studio microphone. It's like, dude, some people don't want to deal with the mixers, okay? Some people want to just take the microphone, plug it into the computer, and call it a day.
I don't want like the funny boom stuff just yet. I just want. Oop! What does this thing do? Okay, it's working. I don't want to protect your Tamplin. I just want to take this.
So, like, I think the Blue Yeti does a very decent job. If you know how to use your tech, it's a fairly decent option. Now, there is actually a middle ground microphone that I have recently found out about that actually I think would be a really good option if you didn't want to go for either the Snowball or the Yeti. And it is the Yeti Nano. Now, this one costs $80 instead of $100, but it kind of packs a similar amount of power as the Blue Yeti, except in more of a compact form. And it's a fairly new little kit of technology. Honestly, if people have the money, and if they wanted to gun for something that's just a little bit better than a Snowball, I'd recommend it.
So, out of these three, you say...
It depends on your budget. Depends on what... I think any of these three would be good.
I'm just going to try out the cheap one first.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Go for it.
I have
if
money.
anything, you might be able to find a Blue Snowball used somewhere for a really cheap price.
Yeah,
And
this is
I'm
pretty
pretty sure
cheap.
it would work.
Right.
So... one thing I do recommend, though, is... I don't know if it's built into the blue snowball or not, but I do recommend here. I'm gonna look this up, and I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna grab like one of the first ones that I have on Amazon. There we go. For any microphone that you record with, I do recommend that you get a pop filter, which is basically like, it's a little like taking a little strip of pantyhose and putting it in front of your face. And what this thing does is it blocks a bunch of the puffs of air that come out of your mouth. You know, so when you say stuff like peas and bees. So for example, instead of it sounding like, you know,
peas.
Peter Piper picked up pack of pickled peppers.
I don't puff my peas.
Yeah. I mean, everybody puffs their peas in some capacity.
I know that I was referencing something too. Puff.
Right over my head. Anyway,
I'll send it
so,
to
you know, so instead of that and hearing a bunch of like clipping inside your microphone, here, let me move this pop filter into place. See? I do it differently. I actually face the microphone slightly to my side. So I don't necessarily have to use a pop filter personally. But, and you could do the exact same thing with either the, you know, the blue snowball or whatever you decide to go with. However, if you want some good quality and if you don't want it to be like slightly off sounding, I do recommend having a pop filter. Then, here's a little trick that I learned. Take your hand and like make this sign. You'll be able to see it on the stream. Basically like that sign that you make to pretend that you're holding a cell phone or holding a phone. You know, like righteous. Make that, and then position it in front of your mouth. And here, let me see if I can I make the symbol and also bring it up to my head? No, not really. Damn you, trackers. Anyway, yeah, basically, this is the amount of distance that your mouth should be from your microphone. So, you know, put it in between you and where your mouth is and measure your distance from your microphone. That's about how far away you should be. And then adjust your gain until it is just the right amount. And that is the best recommendations I can give you when it comes to voice acting or doing any kind of a voice thing. With pinkies out or just a closed fist distance. Pinkies out, like this. You know, like take your thumb, put it like in front of your mouth and like measure distance from like mouth to pinky using this. And that's a tip that I was taught a while ago. But yeah, I even use those techniques even today, whenever I need to do any recording. I also recommend that, like, if you're going to do any sort of recordings, try and do it in a room that has as much audio isolation as possible. I'll try that. Last time I had it at point blank, the VOD was very crunchy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I imagine that. Yeah, definitely measure that distance. And also, again, adjust your gain. Having a pop filter in front of your mouth definitely would help if you had any issues with, you know, plosives. I thought it would be clear. That's fair. That could, honestly, I totally understand how that could be misinterpreted. Actually, also, it really depends on what microphone you got. Like, for some microphones, that's actually a good thing. Like, you do need to be close up to them, but not every single one. It's all about knowing your microphone. There. I know that I've been doing a heck of a lot of research on this stuff personally for, like, I mean, I've done research about this in the past, but I've also been, like, looking more, back into it now that I have been doing a lot more, like, voice-related stuff in the background recently. I get spoiled for anything considered leaks for CRK. Aw. That's the downside of being part of the moderation team. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh man, it sucks to be like so close to a project or like anything like that, and knowing what's coming up and being like, oh man. It's kind of like I really badly want to follow a lot of stuff related to Billy Bust Up, but I also want to keep a little bit of a distance so that I can kind of be surprised. But I can't kinda because I want to keep following the social medias. Wonder if there's a mic out there that records my laugh and wheezes while keeping noise suppression. I think that comes down to balance of both somehow. There are a lot of really good solutions out there that are software based that could possibly help you out with that. Sometimes it comes down to what your mixer is. For example, now again, I'm not being paid by anybody, so but I am using an Elgato Wave XLR for my my mic input. And what's nice about the Wave XLR is that it allows me to put filters on my microphone. So it recognizes like when there's noise in the background and it tries to isolate it and cut it out automatically. And honestly, pretty freaking good. Right now, I've got an AC that is running in the other room over there and a 3D printer. And aside from me turning up the volume a little bit so that you can hear it, it's pretty quiet. Like, you probably wouldn't have even known had I not said anything. It's pretty decent. Yeah, if you can't figure out stuff like that, like physically, there is some software solutions or some mixer solutions that you could look into. Heard the whirring after that you mentioned it. So yeah, like it's not just the Wave XLR that has this ability. There's a couple of other ways. I know that what's that one company? Or like that one, I think it's like Reaper plugins. Let me look this up real quick. Ooh, here we go. I used this long ago, back in the day. I would recommend it. But it is going to require that you're running a piece of software that can take VST plugins and do it live. Just a heads up. I'm trying to think if there's any in particular. Let's see. There's that. And, Reaper plugins, they actually do have a plugin in there that is for noise suppression. So that could potentially work. That could be a solution. And the nice thing about that is that is a computer-based solution. And it's all software. You just need to find something that actually runs VST plugins. That might be a little bit confusing. I will be honest. I know there's a buff for a cookie, a playable cookie, and much more. So much spoiling. And if all else fails, if none of those things work for you, I remember using a certain software that applies VST plugins to my mic in real time. Kind of forgot the name. The noise suppression works well, but when it comes to nonverbal noises like laughing, it kind of cuts out. Oh, interesting. Kind of sounds a little bit like NVIDIA's automatic stuff. I know NVIDIA's got something, and I've heard a couple of streamers that use it. And if you're laughing a little bit too hard, it like overcompensates, and it's just like, oh no, that's noise, cut it out. Clamp down on it, and then you can't hear you're laughing, and it sucks. Like, I don't recommend that. So that is an option. All right, but like I was saying, if all else fails, if none of these things work, I do know that voice mod is a thing, and for a very long time, I used voice mod to do filters on my voice, and that definitely works. Like voice mod's noise detection is really good, and sometimes it's super easy just to filter your voice directly through voice mod and send it directly to your stream. It cuts a heck of a lot of the thinking out of it. And on the plus side is that if you're running voice mod, you have the ability to also turn on other voice filters as well. So you can have a heck of a lot of fun with, like, you know, putting on funny, like, you know, deepening voice filters or robot voice filters or anything like that. The only thing is, like, personally, I stopped using Voicemod because they were really starting to lean into, like, AI and, like, AI voice technology. And while I tried it and I used it a little bit, one, I wasn't really impressed with it. And two, I was starting to get a little bit concerned about, like, well, where are these voices coming from? How did they make them? And is there proper consent with, like, whoever it is that they're taking these voices from? And I'm always a little bit concerned about that because I'm like, if someone's getting the short end of the stick on this deal, like, I don't know if I'm really cool with that. I do like to make sure that people are being properly compensated and treated fairly, especially in, like, you know, voice related stuff. And in general also, the voice mods, like, voice mods ecosphere was starting to get a little bit iffy for me too. Like, it's kind of one of those, it started straying into the standard streamer fare, you know what I mean? The whole, like, oh, you want to be a hardcore super awesome streamer, right? You want to make the loads of subscribers and a whole bunch of the followers and a whole bunch of the bits on the Twitches? And it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just I have a little bit of a problem with it. So, ultimately, I'm just like, you know what, I've had enough. I think I'm done. I'm not saying I'll never go back to a voice mod. It's just kind of one of those, I'd like to keep distance for as long as, like, I'm a little iffy with them. Honestly, part of me kind of wanted to move over to just reusing VSTs again. Like, why not? I could just do that. That's how I used to do it back in the early days of me doing live streams. The only thing is, it would require me to allocate a certain amount of processing power on the stream PC, which I think I could do. I was thinking about this the other day. I've never tried to overclock a computer. Mostly because I'm scared. I'm very scared. I know people do it all the time. And there's automatic stuff that you can, like, you can automatically toggle in your BIOS and all that. But I'm just scared. It's very intimidating. I don't want to overheat the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cook the PC.
Yeah, you don't want to be cooking a PC. That'd be bad.
No. That'd be scary. That would suck. Alrighty. Well, we're starting to get over to the 10 hour. So I think I'm gonna start winding this down. So yeah, we streamed for about 3 hours here, and in total we only had about 97 dropped frames, which is pretty good. It is late, but I'm vibing. I think overclocking is something you do if you know what you're doing, but from what I've heard, it's generally not really recommended. I mean, I've worked with computers for years. I could totally do it, and I have never really had any problems with overheating or anything related to that. It's just kind of one of those, like, I don't know. I kind of want to just allow for the power of the PCs, like, natively to run. I don't want to go anywhere higher than what it currently is. Anyway. Background ASMR. I think you can do it more safely. I don't really know much about it on my end, so I'm just kind of, I just kind of stay away from it. Honestly, a lot of overclocking stuff nowadays is just you go into your BIOS and then you click a button. And there are automatic things that allow you to just set a certain amount of overclocking on your system. Now, technically, you could go in and, like, manually adjust certain things. Like, they give you that option. But overclocking is actually a lot more, like, it's a lot more consumer friendly nowadays. It used to be scary. It used to be like, ooh, you have to specify the numbers for how fast you're going to push this thing. And, you know, you had to pay close attention to the fan speeds and stuff. Nowadays, it's a little bit safer. That's not a recommendation for me, by the way. I was doing my own thing one day, and Pinterest sent me a notification saying, your conductor is looking good, since I have a save for my image, and it was just really funny to me. What? Your conductor? You're a conductor? What? What? Heck? What? Anyway. So like I said, I think we had a pretty smooth stream tonight. But that being said, just because we had a stream be smooth today doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have it be smooth for the next, like, either Wednesday or Saturday. In fact, we're probably going to run into very similar ones. So, conductor versus train. I hope he gets run over by his own train. Anyway, so I guess my plans for next week, honestly, there's a part of me that feels like I should kind of like lay low when it comes to my plans for streams until I can guarantee that I won't be having any weird problems. 'Cause, I might end up canceling a lot of Saturday streams until things are finished, so we'll see. I don't know. It's I've been through this before, so I know what to expect. Like, I'm gonna call my ISP several times until this finally gets resolved, and very likely it's going to require somebody to come out in like a truck and a digger and fix a line underneath. So, but I could be entirely wrong. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna think about this one. I might not release a new schedule until sometime around Tuesday. I will say, one thing that I was thinking about, I was considering like what was going to be my next game for the Wednesday streams. And I was like, well, okay, we finished up Splinter Cell, and there's only one game left in the series that I need to play. So the question is, do I just dive directly into it, or do I move into a different game? Honestly, I'm kind of thinking I want to dive into the final one, because kind of on a roll. I like the Sneaky Snake game. That, and I really want to try and play that game on PC, because I've never done it before. So, I went ahead and I picked up a physical copy of Splinter Cell for PC. Because, fun fact, you cannot really get that thing digitally anymore. Well, I mean, okay, there is a way, but it requires you to do a little bit of high sea sailing. Anyway, so yeah, that is coming in at some point. If it shows up early enough, which again, the earliest it would show up is probably Tuesday, I might just go ahead and play it on Wednesday. So yeah, that potentially I'll be doing that. Again, Saturday, big fat question mark. I might just make like Saturdays and Sundays casual streams for a while, or think of something really chill to do on Saturday. Unsure. But I will let you guys know. Keep in touch on the social medias or also on the Discord to get up-to-date information on what's going on. Anything else that you would like to add, Moon?
Drink water, stretch. That's about it. See ya.
Oh, heck yeah. And Moon is gone. Now, actually, I agree. And I am terrible when it comes to going and taking breaks, gotta say. Also, I just saw Snarls' doodle of me, and my god, that looks amazing. That's freaking cool. It looks very on model. I enjoy it a lot. That's cool. Thank you for drawing that, Snarls. I appreciate it. Anyway, that'll do it for my stream. I'm going to go and inspect that 3D print and hope that things didn't just pop off of it at random while I was sitting here doing the live stream, which, 50-50 chance. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. All right, I'm taking off. Thanks for coming in and watching the stream. See ya. Good night.